From War Memorial Stadium, under the Friday night lights, an all Arlington County matchup. Afshin Banab, Jesse Robinson, and Christopher Williams here on Arlington Independent Media. Gentlemen, I love county matchups. Here we go.
Absolutely, and you have two teams here that are hungry for a win. You have teams both coming in 0-2, and it's going to be exciting to check out this matchup for sure.
Absolutely, Jesse. Chris?
And when you're talking 0-2, hey, as Yogi Berra would say, it's getting late early. And that's
right.
what for both teams tonight, we've got to see what happens.
Let's send it down to the field. Get ready for the kickoff. All right, General is now set to kick off. Waiting for the official whistle. There it is. And we know who this is, gentlemen. That's James Clark, who takes it inside the 15-yard line.
Afshin, how many times did we call James Clark's name last week? And again, he's the first person to touch the ball in this game as well. Kind of hit a wall there on the kick return there. We saw him more taking it up the either side of the field last week. Came right in up the middle. Didn't work really well. The pocket pretty much collapsed on those tacklers there.
But the one thing I like about him is that he's a downfield runner.
He is.
He's going to go downfield no matter where he gets the ball.
He gets a great burst of speed once he finds the open hole. 1st and 10, ball on the 26. Wakefield with the ball going from left to right on your radio dial. Poitras now with the handoff. There's a move up the middle. And that one is Fred Bowles. And he gets a few yards off of that one. He found a little hole in the middle, and he got about 4 or 5 yards out of it.
Wakefield is trying to come into this game with a fresh mind, a clear mindset after several mental mistakes last week that led to the eventual 35-0 loss to Yorktown. They're going to look to turn things around here on this opening drive. It's critical.
Here we go. Ball on the 32, so a pickup of 6. Poitras now again with the handoff. Same person, Bowles. He bowls his way up past the 35, close to the 40-yard line.
And anytime you can get your bread and butter plays working, those run plays, hard running up the middle, first down, you got to get your offense moving early, get a spark going here, first drive of the game. This is going to be big for the Warriors if they want to have a chance in this one.
And one of the things that Coach Hogwood has done to his team, he's challenged their team to be more aggressive and to be more physical. And in 2 plays right now, we've seen it.
Ball's now at the 40-yard line, 1st and 10. Wakefield marching up. Again, the give to Bowles. He finds a move on the left side into the next level. And he's taken down close to the Washinton-Lee 46-yard line. Good pickup of about 14 yards there.
Afshin, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Another run right up the middle there and another first down. If they can stay with the running game right up the middle, go with the, like I said, that bread and butter play all the way down the field, they're going to take it as much as they can get it.
Well, Yorktown or Wakefield winning the battle up front right now early on in this contest. 10:30 clock ticking right now in the first. There he is again. Jesse Bowles finds a room on the far side. Gets to about the 35, maybe inside to the 34-yard line.
And we saw this last week as well with Fred Bowles. He is a hard downhill style runner, and he can pump his feet, especially after contact. And that's 3 first down runs in a row here for this guy, Fred Bowles.
And that's like 6 straight plays for him, too.
And the surprising part is that Clark hasn't touched the ball since the kickoff. I mean, we're all expecting Clark to get the bulk of the carries, but right now Bowles is carrying the mail.
Officially marked at the 35-yard line. This time he gets it. He loses about a yard. That is Fred Bowles I'm talking about. So
the Generals finally able to get a stop on defense. The defensive line kind of parted like the Red Sea on several of those runs there, but they finally came up with a stop there to force a second down.
Poitras gets the call. He comes back in. Wayne Hogwood in his 4th year at Wakefield. Josh Shapiro turned around the Washinton-Lee program now in his 10th season, finally won a division championship or a conference championship back in, 2013. You see this play now going.
There's Clark, but he got hammered from either side, the back and the front. Tacklers coming at him there. He gets up no problem, though. It'll be 3rd and manageable for the Warriors.
Nick Miller and Quinn Parks with a little help on that stop. They hammered him, as you said, Jesse. But Josh Shapiro really turning the program around here after
well, it's
all
one of
those
those things
years.
that you got to remember, Abshin. It's been a carousel of coaches here at Washington-Lee.
Yeah.
And the last 10 years, Shapiro has kind of been at the helm, and he's kind of steadied the ship.
He certainly has, and he likes to throw in a little gimmick play here or there.
Yeah.
You know, we see that a lot. There it is. That is number 32 for Wakefield. We all know who that is, Mr. Brook or Mr. Bowles. And this will bring up now 4th down, guys.
It'll be interesting to see what happens here. If you can extend this drive offensively, if you're Wakefield, you really, really want to get something going and come away with something to show for this great first drive. You had several first down runs from Bowles. You got to put some points on the board.
This drive started on the 26-yard line. They are now in Washinton-Lee territory at about the Washington-Lee 27-yard line. They're going for it on 4th and 2. There he is. He's got the first down. He gets to about the 20-yard line. First down, Wakefield. Into the next level again.
Great run there by Bowles, getting those few yards that Wakefield so desperately needed to keep this drive alive. Pounds his feet. Again, hard pounding running right up the middle. He takes care of business, and it's a red zone trip for Wakefield early on in this one.
7:55 to go here in the first.
And one of the things I like about what Wakefield's doing so far, hey, here it is, stop it. No shame in their game tonight.
Nope. All right, first down. Poitras now for the first time passing. He's got a man open on the far side. Touchdown, Wakefield.
Got to credit Poitras there. I thought that was a handoff there. He really sold the fake, pinpointed into the back corner of the end zone, finding his tight end there, the junior, for the touchdown. Lamont McDowell.
Yes, he got him in the corner. Touchdown, Wakefield.
And that's a true example of how play-action pass is supposed to work. They pound the run, slip a tight end into the end zone for a touchdown. Great play calling by Wakefield.
And when I talked with Coach Hogwood earlier this week, I asked him, what factors do you use to motivate a team after a loss? How do you bounce back from a loss, 35-0 like that we saw last week at the hands of Yorktown? And he said that they try to use a short memory concept with all of the players. After the plays or games, they correct their mistakes, they forget it, and move on to the next game or play. He said they never want to get too down after a mistake or a bad play, or too up after a good play or a good win. He wants his squad to stay even mentally so they can focus on the task at hand. And what we just saw right here, a clean mind, a fresh start, clean slate, and they took it all the way down the field with downhill running and cashed in the red zone with a great passing play from their quarterback, Poitras.
And their big play on that drive was at 4th and 2, which they garnered the first down. The play before wasn't a good one. They forgot about it.
Exactly.
And we were all expecting Clark to get the ball. Clark touched the ball one time with the low screen pass out to him on the outside, picked up a few yards. But that drive was all Bowles.
Going with the hot hand, or in this case, the hot feet. Bowles really demonstrated great poise and downhill running.
All right, now Wakefield set to kick off. Palacio will do the duty for Wakefield. Nick Miller deep to receive this kickoff. 7:37 to go here from War Memorial Stadium. Afshin Banab, Jesse Robinson, Chris Williams. Our high school game of the week here on WERA 96.7 FM.
A short pooch kick, or maybe an attempt at some sort of onside or squib there. It went out just past the 40. No distance at all on that kick. I'm not sure what the scheme was there for the special teams. It did go out of bounds.
It's interesting to see. Washington-Lee can elect to take the ball or have it kicked again, and
I
it
think
looks
we'll
like
see a re-kick here.
Yeah. That surprise you? Because, I mean, that's good field position if they take it.
Yeah, well, maybe they have a lot of confidence in their
Miller?
in their deep guys there. They want to see if maybe they can get something a little bit better.
Well, Nick Miller is also a very good kick returner.
Well, you also got to think here, I mean, from where Miller's standing right now, he's going to be 12 yards from where the ball went out of bounds.
Right.
So,
yeah.
I think it's a great call by, it's Shapiro.
It's Shapiro, and we
Does
know
it
how he
surprise you?
rolls. No, it doesn't.
He's putting the fate of the start of the drive in the hands of his players, not in the hands of a penalty.
Exactly.
And it's a cool move. Short kick. He might just make it up right here, Afshin.
He just might. There is Miller. He's going to take it to the far side. Or is that Parks, I believe? I'm sorry. Still on his feet, coming back to the near side. Has running room, crosses the 40, into the next level, mid-tip. He's on his way, down the sidelines. Quinn Parks, touchdown, Washington-Lee.
How about this guy, Parks? I was originally going to say, hey, man, you can't go east and west. You got to go north and south. But he proved me wrong there with his speed. Came all the way around the other side of the field, took it up the afterburners, accelerated for the touchdown.
And just like that, 7-6, Wakefield on top, pending this extra point by the Generals. What a run for Quinn Parks.
All I got to say about that, Shapiro.
He knows what's up, right? As you said, Jesse, he put his faith in his players.
He has the coolness of a riverboat gambler.
Yeah, he does. He does.
And it's interesting how sometimes we wouldn't pay any mind to that. It goes out, they start to drive right there. But we focused on it, and sure enough, we see that it definitely paid off.
All right, guys, here's another Josh Shapiro staple. He is going for a 2-point conversion now. Not the extra point, but a 2-point conversion. Out of the eye. There's a pitch to
And they're going to go up.
Yep. There's a pitch. Larry Carpenter. He scores on that 2-point conversion. So now Washington-Lee takes an 8-7 lead.
Counter rivalry game, it's a big rivalry between these two. Hey, you throw conventional wisdom out of the window. Hey, we take the penalty. Hey, decline the penalty, kick it off again. Hey, we scored 2-point conversion. Let's go.
These two teams are rivals. They know each other very well. They're probably very studied up on offense and defensive sides of the ball. So where is your tipping point? Where are you going to get your aim in? And it just happened there on special teams.
Good move by Coach Shapiro and his special teams. 8-7 now, 7:18 to go. Washington-Lee comes back and scores right away after a long drive by Wakefield to start off the game. All right, James Clark now set to receive, of course. He is deep, the single safety for Wakefield, standing inside his 5-yard line.
And the Warriors will need to use that mentality that their coaches kind of programmed into them here and bounce back on their own special teams. Right beside the band, Afshin, we get the full high school football treatment tonight. Wouldn't have it any other way, though.
No, we get the feel. And that one goes through the end zone and out of bounds. Palacio has a nice foot there, gentlemen. You know what? I wouldn't want it any other way. And I like the tradition of football. Friday night, high school football. Saturday mostly.
Night lights, yep.
College and the NFL on Sunday. That's how I love it. And I know it's changing a little bit. We got college games now on Thursdays and Fridays, but Friday night should always be dedicated to high school football.
Right, and we will have to break convention at least one time for the WERA high school game of the week. We will be on at least one Saturday confirmed this season on WERA 96.7 FM.
That will be our O'Connell matchup of our private school here in Arlington.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
O'Connell and Avalon. All right, there we go. Wakefield. There is a run again. You know who it is, gentlemen. He crosses the 25. Gets a nice 6-7 yard gain for Bowles.
How about Bowles? Afshin, do not be surprised if this young man goes over 100 yards tonight.
I wouldn't be surprised if he does it by the end of the half.
Hey, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
There we go. My sayings are contagious.
Second down 4 now, ball at the 26-yard line. Nice 6-yard pickup for Bowles.
How great would that be for the Warriors? Back-to-back scoring drives here. A definite boost from last week.
Certainly. There's Poythress on the far side. Wakefield going left to right on your radio dial. He is on the far side. That one was.
And we see already in this one a whole different offensive squad, it looks like, Afshin, from last week.
Right.
A different squad. The Warriors came out last week and couldn't put up any points on the board, and it seemed like they couldn't get anything. And when they did have a drive going, it stalled. They just finished through, and they're starting it up here again.
And the biggest thing from watching the game tape of last week's game, the biggest thing they have eliminated all the mistakes. There's no turnovers. There's no fake punt. They've just pounded the ball right at the Generals.
All right, Poythress, he loses it. Wakefield falls on it. There's a mistake right now. That's the first big mistake. George Brooks recovered it.
And it's good awareness there by Brooks. When that ball hits the turf, you have to be aware. of where it is and make sure your offense can stay out on the field. You don't want to give up that loose ball to a defender. And
well, the best
great
thing,
look there.
And the best thing he did, he fell on it. He didn't try to pick it up and try to advance it. Just fall on the ball.
And just blow it, and that's it. Call it dead. Second down, 11 now. There's James Clark. And he doesn't get much. They snuffed that one out, Jesse.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that Washington-Lee has been studying up all week on this guy, James Clark. They know his moves. They've seen him on the tape. They've been studying. They know he's the go-to guy, the number one guy. Don't be surprised if he has a little bit of a slow start in this game because he's the focus point of the defense.
Big third down play now for Wakefield. 11 to go for the first down. Ball at the 31-yard line.
Third and long.
Poythress now out of the gun. Stays in the pocket this time. He throws it to the left side, and this one is incomplete. And Wakefield most likely will punt here.
And that one was going to Dakota Horn there, but it was a low ball, and Horn also dropped it there, kind of in the midst as he was sliding down on the knees there. You got to be able to make that catch right there on the first down line. Even if you have a low ball, you practice those catches in practice.
Oh, indeed you do. So this one is Wakefield now set to punt here. I believe that is Quinn Parks, a single safety. Let's see. There is a nice punt. There's a fair catch right there. That is Quinn Parks. He had the fair catch and he bobbled it, but he picked it up.
Picked it up and then blown dead, obviously, because of the fair catch. But I'm glad that we didn't see any sort of trickery because it didn't work out so well last week. If listeners and viewers can recall, the fake punt did not work so well last week for the Warriors. Maybe, again, they're learning from their mistakes, short memory. Just kick it off down the field, you know.
And I like that the snap was high, the punter recovered well, and he got it off.
And one of the things I noticed on that fake punt, if you notice, on the fake punt, the punter was back 17 yards.
Yeah.
Typically, he's back 12. And if you notice that one, he's back 12, but on that fake punt, he was back 17.
17, that's right. He was back a little further back then.
Be a little false start here.
Yeah.
Neutral zone.
4:44 to go, 8-7 Washington-Lee on top. If you're curious why Washington-Lee has 8, they decided to go for two-point conversion after they scored on that long Quinn Parks run.
Wakefield defensive lineman there tripped up on the hard count. Again, you want to avoid those sort of mistakes like you saw plenty last week.
Yeah, and Wakefield committed one there. It's first down 5 now.
Great spin move.
There he is again. That one is number 3, Larry Carpenter. He tries to cut it back to the inside. He's taken out of bounds right around the 20, maybe the 19-yard line, and I'm talking about the Wakefield 19-yard line.
How about Larry
21.
How about, a little flag there, but how about Larry Carpenter? He finds a way. Looks like he's going to be stopped immediately in the backfield, does a spin move, reverse to the other side, and then you'll be able to see him coming all the way down the sideline there. A big gain, but it looks like maybe there was some laundry on the field.
Block in the back.
All right, that's called an illegal block in the back, so they'll bring that one
Which
all the way
typically
back.
happens on a play like that. When a guy changes and reverses his field and comes back, you're going to get caught up in that wash sometimes, and you're typically going to have a block in the back.
But you're always taught, and it doesn't work, I understand it, but you're always taught if you see the man's name on the back, don't touch him if you can see it. But obviously there are no names for Washington-Lee on the back, but you see the back of the helmet.
The NFL guys can't do it.
Right.
The
Nobody can do it.
NCAA guys can't do it. You know the high school kids can't do it.
All right. So he does get the pickup. The penalty is up to where it occurred, so Carpenter got a few yards on that. So it's first down 1 at the 49. There's a high snap. Throw across.
Goodness, what
beautiful
a
catch.
Play. Nicky Miller.
Mestry to Miller. Up across the middle. Miller had to climb a ladder to get that one.
How about Miller right there with an all-pro catch? He is able to corral it in originally with the long arm and almost bounce it back into himself, into his chest, and corral that. Great first down catch there by Miller.
Concentration.
And what I love about watching Mestre, I saw it on tape and seeing it here tonight, He takes his steps and he's gone. The
Yeah.
ball's gone. So it's 1, 2, 3, plant, throw.
Mestry
He doesn't waste any time in the pocket. He gets rid of the ball.
1st and 10, ball on the Wakefield 36-yard line. There is a handoff, and that is Quinn Parks. Larry Carpenter, pardon me, and he doesn't get much as he gets back to about the 35, 36-yard line. So
yeah, some nifty moves there by Carpenter. He was able to shimmy and spin all the way to the sideline, but it looked like maybe a gain of half a yard or no gain on the play.
3:41 to go, 8-7 Washington-Lee. They'll give him no gain on that one, so 2nd down 10. Ball on the 36-yard line. Mestry, the 6-foot, 180-pound senior quarterback, now out of the gun. No one in the backfield with him. Carpenter in motion. He gives it to Carpenter, shovels Carpenter on the far side. Going to try to turn the corner, gets to the 35, right around the 30-yard line before he is driven out of bounds, so he picked up some of that yardage back.
Not too shabby of a play there. Mestry able to pitch it out, no problems there to Carpenter, and Carpenter finds that edge and turns just in time to not be forced out of bounds, but he is able to take it all the way for a decent, maybe 6-7 yard gain.
As Clark comes in motion, it's almost like running a jet sweep. He comes in motion and just pitch it to him, and off he goes. If he gets the corner, he's going to get yards, which he's able to do here.
He did pick up 6 there, so 3rd and 4, ball on the 30. Big play for Washinton-Lee now. Mestry out of the gun. He's got Carpenter in the back with him. Mestry staying in the pocket, rolls to his right, throws it.
Looked like a catch there,
side,
but might not have been in front of the stick.
It's going to be about 2 yards short, but this is 4-down territory.
Got to credit the defensive backs there for really converging pretty quick there on the receiver for Washington-Lee. Wakefield Warriors able to converge pretty quick there and stop any sort of turn and motion up the field.
Absolutely. They got that stop now. It's 4th, or it's going to be a short yardage situation now. So I think that was Nick Miller who actually caught that pass on the far side. It was hard to see from our vantage point, but it looked like it was number 1, Nick Miller. So 4th down and 2.
Right, and now both teams in this first quarter have a big 4th down play to make offensively.
All right, Mestry now under center. This time he pitches to Carpenter. Carpenter waiting, looking for some hole. Breaks a couple of tackles, fighting tooth and nail. And he is finally taken down.
As someone watching that play, you really hope that Carpenter got to that first down because you saw the patience. He gets the handoff there, and he takes his time. There's no immediate rush to get up the field. He took his time there, looked for a seam to develop, and he took it towards the sideline, and it's a first down for his offensive squad.
It sure is. They don't even have to look at it. He did get that first down. So 1st and 10 now. Ball at the 25. Good run by Carpenter. Loved his vision and his patience in the backfield. Ricardo Mestry bringing his troops down the field. A lot of poise in the pocket from Mestry.
Washington-Lee close to the red zone again, and that run might get them right into there towards the 20-yard line. They're looking to go up and build on their 1-point lead.
All right, Matez stops Carpenter just inside the 20-yard line to about the 19. So a good 5, maybe 6-yard pickup. 150 and counting right now, so 2nd down 5. They mark it officially at the 20-yard line. Washinton-Lee driving right to left on your radio dial. Full house backfield. There's a handoff to the up man. That is Tommy Ellis, and he picks up a few off of that, and he bull rushes his way for about 4 or 5 yards, gentlemen.
Yeah, both teams really trying to get their running game going early in this one, and the team that can do it most effectively down the stretch in this one will probably come away with the W.
Right. And both teams are running well, right? So who would you consider as owning the trenches right now? Who's dominating the line if you think one team is over the other?
I think you would have to take a look at Wakefield, really, and the line and the offensive line really getting a jump on the defenders for Washington-Lee and allowing Fred Bowles such big holes to run for these first downs for the Warriors. But we'll see here. Now that my opinion might change here if the Generals are able to punch it in again here. They're in the red zone and threatening to build on their lead.
Well, that was just 3rd and 1, and they tried another pitch and didn't get anything. So here comes another fourth and goal.
And you know,
a 4th and 1.
Coach Shapiro's not bringing anyone out. They're all staying in. That was Carpenter, by the way, who couldn't get anything.
Looks like he's going to go for a field goal here.
Let's see. Now he is. He changes it. Or he calls a timeout with 33 seconds to go here.
So we'll stay right here because we'll step aside for the end of the quarter, but this is the high school football game of the week, the second one ever. We had our inaugural broadcast last week. It was a great atmosphere, a great experience, and the reception was for the program. Again, we'd like to thank Arlington Independent Media for being our producer of the program. And it couldn't have gone better. We only wish it was a closer game, obviously. 35-0 in favor of Yorktown. But we see the Warriors here, Wakefield, bouncing back, and they've seemed to show a competitive spirit so far in this one.
Yeah, they've shown a lot of guts tonight as they open up this game. And we will see Wakefield again the third week in a row next week against Falls Church, which will be a big game.
Those Warriors love 96.7
They sure
FM.
do. It looks like there's a fumble and a scrum right now.
It looks like it was originally either a quarterback sneak or some sort of dive up the middle, and then the ball was lost and it popped out, but maybe originally recovered by the original runner.
Yeah, it looks like Mestry fumbled a snap, and it's going to be one of those left foot, right foot spots. From up here.
That's right. Christopher, tell everybody, what do you mean by the left foot, right foot spot? Well, you know, Jesse and I know what it means, but the listeners.
It all depends on when the referee comes in, if he's going to spot the ball on his right foot or left foot. It looks like they got the left foot spot on this one.
Which means?
I think it's going to be a first down.
Okay.
And certainly Ricardo Mestry, he is pretty positive about this spot. He's beating his shoulder pads, excited to keep this drive alive, and they will do so. It'll be a first down.
It's a first down. Left foot, right foot.
There you go.
27 seconds to go here in the first.
We'll see if Washinton-Lee can punch it in here before the end of the quarter.
Ball right at about, the 15-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 15. They're well into the red zone now. Mestry. He's got Ellis in the backfield with Carpenter. Carpenter the tailback. Mestry under center out of the I formation.
Flag on the play.
Yeah. False start. It's kind of funny, actually, we've been, watching Washinton-Lee for a while now. I don't think I ever remember seeing them in the power I.
You're probably right. This is the first time. Well, you've got the big Tommy Ellis, so it works out for them. I don't know if Shapiro's ever had a fullback that big.
You used to see them like in either the I formation or in the spread, but it's kind of weird watching them run this power I, and it's they're running power football right back at Wakefield.
He is 200 pounds, so that's a pretty big high schooler right there.
And when you're trying to go up in a game like this, close here in the first quarter, and you're looking to go up, you're in the red zone, you got to avoid little mistakes like that false start that's going to back you up and take you further away from your goal.
Another whistle here, Jesse, so that is the end of the first quarter, actually. That's why there was a whistle. I lost track of the time. So that's the end of the first quarter, 8-7, Washinton-Lee. We are back here opening up the second quarter. Washinton-Lee with the ball as they move to the other end of the field now. 8-7. Generals on top. They have the ball at second down now. Ball on the 18-yard line, or ball on the 13-yard line, pardon me. Sorry, ball on the 18-yard line. I don't know what I'm thinking. Mestry looking to the right. This one is incomplete. Mestry with a good pass there.
It was a good pass. It was low only to where the receiver could get it. He tried to slide in there, and unable to grab it. It looked like it might have hit him right in the chest, but then he dropped it sliding. And it's a hard thing to do as you're sliding in there to control that ball as well.
But as a receiver, you want to catch the ball with your hands.
Right.
You never want the ball to get to your pads.
Right.
When it gets to your pads, it's not a good thing.
Exactly, and that's what I said. Like when you're working like a combo and you're sliding at the same time, it does make things a little bit more challenging.
3rd down, 13. Mestry stays in the pocket. Looking up the middle. Boom. Touchdown, Washington-Lee.
Right over the top. A beautiful throw in there from Mestry. Showing poise there, hanging in. Big-time play over the middle to go up. Double score.
And what I like about this play right here is Mestry's patience in the pocket.
Right.
He waited. Receivers running a post. He waited for the receiver to get behind the safety and then put it up there.
And what I love about the play is the previous play, that was Quinn Parks who dropped that pass.
Right.
Quinn Parks just caught that touchdown.
Yep.
And you know he is sure-handed. How many times have we seen him drop a pass in his 4 years? Snap good, hold good, kick long enough, and it is good. Washington-Lee 15-7 now on top of the Wakefield Warriors. 11:09 to go here in the first half. Good play from Mestry to Quinn Parks. Now this is where we want to see the Wakefield Warriors take over. They need to show something on this drive right here if they want to really feel like they can get back into this game.
Absolutely, and when I talked to Coach Hogwood earlier this week, I asked him what a coach could do to eliminate mistakes and miscues on the field, and he said as a coach, his staff and himself, they coach fundamentals every day. They try to make sure their players pay attention to the details, and he said that doesn't eliminate all the mistakes. They are part of life and part of football. Everyone will always make mistakes is what he said, but they do try to limit them and learn from them. So they'll learn from that drive and, look, try to respond here and even up this score heading to the later part of the second quarter.
Well, if James Clark receives it, there's a good chance they'll respond. But
That's
if I'm
true.
the kicker for Washington-Lee, I don't know if I want to kick it to him right now. We'll see.
High arcing kick.
It is, and he gets it at his own 5-yard line. He's coming directly up the middle, goes to the far side, and he's taken down by a host of Washington-Lee generals. So they got him good. They're eyeing on today. They're keying on him special teams wise. So Wakefield takes over about their own 15-yard line. Very poor field position to begin the first drive.
And you got to give a lot of credit to all of the special teams units for Washington-Lee so far. High arcing kick on the kickoff. Great blocking and returning for the kick return. Special teams has put the Generals up in a good position so far in this one. And
they definitely put them up in a good position here as Wakefield takes over at their own 16-yard line. So 11:02 to go here in the first half. There's a handoff, but a whistle. So there was a marker there right before the play, so we'll see what that one is.
False start.
It looks like it.
And this radio audio is going right to the video broadcast that you will be able to see on Wednesdays and Saturdays on Arlington Independent Media. You can check that out, Comcast Channel 69 and FiOS Channel 38. That's the high school football broadcast of the game of the week.
Arlington Independent Media. All right.
They've been doing it for a while.
Yeah, for a long time.
Actually, I think you did games when I was a kid.
Impossible, Chris. I'm only like 22, man. Come on, 23. 11:01 to go, first down. Move it 5 yards back, so first and 15, ball marked at the 13-yard line. We started covering games when Arlington Independent Media was called Arlington Community Television.
That's right.
That's how far back
That's right.
we go, right? That was a whole nother life. Poitras now out of the gun. He hands it off.
Guess who?
It sure is. Far side. Wakefield going right to left on your radio dial now as we move inside of 11 minutes. 10:50 actually and counting.
And the Warriors are not moving away from what has worked for them offensively.
And they shouldn't.
Downhill running up through one of the gaps close to the center, and they're taking advantage of that defensive line for Washington-Lee, who looks a little bit tired at times.
Second down. Brooks and Bowles in the backfield there for Wakefield.
One of the things that Wakefield was able to do in that first drive was that they stayed ahead of the chains. Everything was pretty much manageable.
Right.
3rd and 4, the 4th and 1, 2nd and 5. What they did in the second drive and the subsequent drives, they haven't been able to stay ahead of the chains. Now they're kind of getting a little bit movement here, but you're at 3rd and 7, which isn't where, as a coach, you want to be.
No.
You want to be 3rd and 3. That 3 yards in a cloud of dust is what you're looking for.
That's the old Tom Landry thing. He always said anything 2nd and 5 or best. 2nd and 5 is the perfect down and distance.
Well, it opens up your playbook to do so much more than 2nd and 8.
Yes.
And that's why getting the run game started is important on a first down there.
Right.
You get those 5 initial yards there.
All right, that
How
is
about
number
that?
32, Fred
Oh,
Bowles.
man.
Good run up the middle.
Fred Bowles, F. Sheen, would have been gone on that play. He ran in to his own man.
Yeah.
Unfortunate there. You see, he goes right up the middle, downhill running again, runs into his own man there, number 27. And unfortunately, that's what knocks him out, and that's what stops his momentum. Could have been a much larger play for the Wakefield offense.
Which is why coaches always tell you, you don't stop until the whistle. You play until the whistle.
9:30 now, clock ticking. 1st and 10 now for the Warriors. Poitras out of the gun once again. 2 receivers to the left side. He looks to the left.
How about it?
There's a one to David Barron. He's still on his feet down to the 15-yard line. Barron with a beautiful catch and run.
What a throw by Poitras, and what a great catch on the run by Barron. Wakefield has learned from their mistakes. Last week they were stopping before and not finishing their routes, and they were wondering why the ball was going way over their head because the receivers were stopping. Barron does not stop, full speed down the left sideline, and it pays off for him in a big way, pays off in a big way for the offense of Wakefield.
That's a 50-yarder in a big way. 50-yard catch and run.
It wasn't
David
the
Barron.
prettiest pass.
No, it wasn't.
But it was a great catch.
Yes, it got there, David Barron. All right, ball now on the Washinton-Lee 16-yard line. And there's a whistle. Poitras likes what he saw, though. He was clapping.
Timeout on the field.
Timeout.
Their first timeout.
That wasn't a golf clap for sure. That was a
Yeah.
angry clap.
And you've seen poise from both of the quarterbacks here in this game so far, I've seen. Both a little bit more on target I've seen for Poitras. Especially that throw right there on the move, on the run to Barron. But on the other side, you got to credit Mestry as well. He's gotten the job done for Washington-Lee.
One thing we have not seen from Poitras tonight is he hasn't run the ball side to side.
Right.
He stayed in the pocket, unlike last week,
Exactly.
where he was getting hit, he was being taken down, being sacked, throwing incomplete passes. Tonight it's the exact opposite. He's changed. The game plan has changed for Poitras.
But I also think that comes out to the fact that they've established a run game.
Which is
which
true.
they didn't do last week.
Which they could not do against Yorktown.
Absolutely. And going back to last week, Poitras did establish himself as a tough quarterback, and he took
a lot of hits.
He took a lot of hits, but he also ran 2 or 3 times in that first quarter last week against Yorktown.
Right.
Took those hits, proved himself that he was a tough, capable quarterback, and now he's proven it with his arm here.
That was a beautiful catch and run from Barron. This one, Poitras is going to have to keep this one. He's going to scamper to the far side.
We spoke it
inside
into
the 10.
existence, huh?
Yes, we did. There it is. They're going to call this one a touchdown on the far side. Yep. Touchdown, Wakefield.
I think Coach Hogwood heard us here from the booth that we hadn't been a run to Poitras yet. This guy is multifaceted. He just dropped a 50-yard pass on the run, on the money, and then bounces back the very next play, takes it all the way around the outside, does it himself, does it with his legs, and churns all the way in, turns it up into the end zone for another Wakefield score.
Count that as a 16-yard touchdown.
And the key on that play, it wasn't a design run.
No,
it was
he
a fumble
bobbled it.
snap. He bobbled a snap, and he had the poise to control the snap and get to the outside.
So add another facet, improvising.
Nick Stiller on that kick. Snap good, hold good. Kick long enough and good. It is 15 with 9:09 to go. 15-14 now. Wakefield back in the game.
And as the extra point gets tacked on, this has become a shootout here so far, F. Sheen.
First half play, we've got 29 points on the board. Not too shabby for these two teams.
Not
this
too
is
shabby at
something
all.
a little different. We are so normal to seeing Wakefield and Washinton-Lee playing late in the season when they were in the same district, back then known as the National District. And now, here we are 2 years into it. They play early in the season, but nonetheless, I'm just happy that they still were able to keep those Arlington County matchups.
And how about if you're Wakefield? Think about it. You got Yorktown, and then you go Washinton-Lee back to back.
Before conference play.
Before conference play. I mean, it's one thing to get those games out of the way, but, I mean, it's county championship. You got to win one of those games.
Well, you got to.
And that's a big emphasis with Bruce Hanson at Yorktown. He's excited to win that game against Wakefield because he's like, I still got a chance.
Right.
I still got a chance.
The county victory means so much to each coach. It means so much to all three coaches. Who's going to win the county title every year? I got to say, your boys at Yorktown, they do it most of the years. They've done it for a long time, Chris.
Little pooch kick.
Yep, this one's a pooch kick. As you said, ball loose, but Washinton-Lee falls on it.
Special teams is so important.
Yeah.
You know,
you don't realize it.
And it's an interesting approach of what we're seeing tonight, though.
You see this kickoff right here, and now we're going to get a flag on the play. But it's an onside kick, it's a pooch kick. It's, you know, and then we see the penalty on the kickoff to start the game, and then you get the run back, you get the 2-point conversion. So many times people forget about that third phase of the game. Everyone gets caught up in the offense, defense. How many points to score? How many times have you stopped them? But special teams wins ball games.
Well, they set the tone, really. They set the tone as far as field position, where you start off as an offense, or where you put your defense at the beginning of a game especially. They set the tone for all of that.
And in a shootout game like this, Chris, you are right. It may come down to special teams. Special teams might decide the outcome of this game.
So this one goes against Washinton-Lee, this penalty after the kickoff. And they'll move back about 5 yards. Is it more than that? 15. What was it? I did not even see the official.
It's going
to be an unsportsmanlike.
Unsportsmanlike, okay. Mike Goldman calls the unsportsmanlike conduct.
And that's when you get into those, you got to stay mentally focused. You have to stay in charge of the task at hand, really. And that's not a good way to start a drive.
So they're at their own 18-yard line. Mestry out of the gun. Watch Quinn Parks. He's alone on the near side, going left to right on your radio dial. Mestry now with the jet sweep again. And this time it's Nick Miller who's got a little bit of running room. He's taken out of bounds, crosses the 20 to about the 22, maybe 23-yard line.
Right, and we've seen that twice now where Mestry likes to do that little, with both of his hands, that little pitch like that. Right. You'll see that he takes both of his hands and pitches it out. It's not one hand toss off to the side. It's a double, and that allows room for the runner down to the right side.
Well, as the guy comes in motion, one of the things I saw him run earlier this season was a jet sweep, and this is just a modified version of that jet sweep. As the runner comes in motion, he's getting at that speed to get the ball to him. Right. He's carrying that speed and momentum to the outside.
That time it was with Nick Miller earlier, as you mentioned, Jesse. That was Larry Carpenter, who was a little bit more successful on his run. This is now 2nd down, 2. Across the middle, that one is Quinn Parks, 35, 40-yard line, breaks one tackle, fumbles the ball. Wakefield recovers.
A play with several different highs and lows here. Originally, Ricardo Mestry throws that ball on a rope to Parks, and it looks like Parks is going to have a decent game, and then he coughs it up there just in time into the waiting arms of one of the Wakefield defenders. And that's what you got to like if you're Coach Hogwood, sitting back and you allow your defense to capitalize on turnovers. They want to sit back and capitalize these and wait for the other team to sort of self-destruct.
And Quinn Parks, he took a couple of big hits as he lost that one. Wakefield now will take over in Washinton-Lee territory.
But it's a great play by the defense of Wakefield. Coaches always talk hat on the ball, hat on the ball. Helmet on the ball, ball comes loose.
And we have to talk about it since it just happened here. It was pretty funny. We had one of the people in the stands come up and give us a little Post-it note here on the window. It says, WERA 96.7 FM rocks. And you, sir, I couldn't agree with you more.
But all that's going to go for naught because we got a personal foul face mask. Washinton-Lee's going to get the ball back.
So the Generals will get the ball back, and Shapiro, Coach Shapiro will be ready to take full advantage of this big penalty.
And that's where we tie in those miscues for Wakefield. You got to stay mentally prepared. You can't have those mistakes. You can't have silly things like a face mask penalty there to throw a wrench into the works.
WERA 96.7 FM, it rocks, but it rolls too, you know?
Oh, yeah, and it rolls. Rolls like Bowles has.
First down, 10 now. Carpenter to the near side, 35-40. 45-40, I should say, as he gets into Wakefield territory. Coach Shapiro's going to make Wakefield pay for that big penalty right there.
Oh, absolutely, and you got to love the hard-running nature there by Carpenter. Gets around the outside, keeps his feet turning, takes a hit to the side, and it takes about 4 Wakefield defenders to finally get him down close to the 30-yard line. Washington-Lee is driving here.
He fights a tooth and nail, just like a dentist and a carpenter, right?
Well, it was a carpenter.
It was a carpenter that made that one. All right, first down, 10. The fake from Mestry to Carpenter. Mestry across the middle. And that is Andrew Malone who gets his first catch of the night. And that is for a first down. Nice play across the middle. Nice little slant by Malone. And Mestry found him out of the gun, stayed in the pocket, and found him for a complete pass.
And the biggest thing is watching Mestry throw the ball in rhythm. 1, 2, 3, boom, ball's out. 1, 2, 3, plants your back foot, and there's a slant. There it is again.
There it is again.
How
Quinn
about
Parks, touchdown. 24-yard pass from Mestry to Parks down the right sideline. And we've seen Parks make a mistake or two, and he always gets a touchdown. That's the second time he's gotten a touchdown after a big Quinn Parks mistake.
Great focus there by Parks, able to corral the ball in just over the goal line and then spin his body in there. And you got to credit Mestry there, too. He's been throwing balls on a rope tonight.
Not only Mestry, but you got to go back to Coach Shapiro.
Right.
Parks has made mistakes, and he keeps going back
right.
to him. He keeps going back to him.
We've seen him play so many times. Quinn Parks rarely drops a pass, and that's a block on the extra point. Yeah. So so Washington-Lee with a blocked extra point there. So it's 21.
And if you're Wakefield at this point, that's the best thing that you can do, because now you got the 2-point conversion back.
You do. You get it back. It's now only, it's a touchdown and an extra point to tie.
Like we said, in this sort of shootout mentality and this sort of game, special teams could be the deciding factor, and there's the special teams momentum there once again.
But getting back to Parks, I love his trust, Shapiro's trust in him. And Mestry is not afraid to just unload it to him. And we don't see Parks dropping passes, so it was unusual to see him drop a pass earlier, came back and scored. He fumbled, though they got that back on after the penalty. They still came back and scored.
As a player, in a big game like this where the teams are going back and forth, you have to have a short memory. You have to put behind you, especially if it's going to go back and forth and back and forth. Right. You cannot be lingering on what just happened with Washington-Lee in the previous series. You need to focus on now you moving down the field if you're Wakefield and punching it in as well. You can't be focused on the past. Avoid the rearview mirror in big matchups like this.
Something you and Coach Hogwood talked about a little bit, right?
Absolutely.
All right. Clark, from the goal line, he's going to bring it out. But that should be right. He was bringing it out, and the referee's a late whistle on that one. But the ball, once it goes into the end zone,
and you can see
it's a dead ball.
His feet were definitely in the end zone when he caught the ball.
Yep. So it is a touchback. Wakefield will take over at the 20-yard line. First and 10. Down 21-14 from War Memorial Stadium. Afshin Banab, Jesse Robinson, Chris Williams, 7:17 to go. The Generals on top of the Warriors so far.
This is the WERA High School Football Game of the Week.
And if you're Wakefield, crank up the diesel.
Rev it up, absolutely.
Absolutely. All right, here they go. Let's see if they crank it up. First and 10 from the 20. Poitras with the handoff. And that is on the far side. That might have been the diesel. I don't know.
It was Bowles.
That is Bowles.
Feed him. He's hungry.
Feed him more.
So, yeah, another example of the great downhill running up the middle and a little bit more towards the right side there by Bowles. Gets a decent 3-4 yard gain.
They officially give him 4, 2nd and 6 from the 24 now.
And if you're a coach at 2nd and 6, you get the playbook wide open for 2nd and 6.
Yeah, like you mentioned. Yeah.
You don't have the playbook for 1st and 25.
No.
I'd like to see the playbook for that, though.
Open it up.
A bunch of doodles everywhere.
Poitras now in the flat. The pass complete to James Clark. Gets to about the 27, 28-yard line, and then he's pushed back.
Now, I like the throw there by Poitras. I like the initial catch there by Clark, but you got to play smart. Get out of bounds right there. When you have 3 defenders closing in on you like that, it's very unlikely that you're going to be able to make a move and juke all 3 of those guys. Get out of bounds for your safety and for the safety of the drive.
He just wanted to try. You know how these high school players are. They try so hard.
It's a manhood issue.
But
3rd and 1.
Yep, 3rd and 1. So they give him.
Maybe he was trying to fight for that last yard.
He was. It's 3rd and 1, I guess. There's the handoff. They gave him 5 yards on that catch and run.
It'll be interesting to see where they spot this one, Afshin.
Yeah.
It looked like it was like a stuff there.
George Brooks on that carry that time.
It will be 4th down, huh?
It looks like it will be, right? They're
no
not gonna
gain.
Bring out, nope, no gain. 5.5 to go. Clock ticking.
This should, if you play this right, if you're Wakefield, this should be either a simple quarterback sneak from Poitras or hand it to what's been working right up the middle, Fred Bowles.
Yeah, I like the quarterback sneak, Jesse. This isn't even one. This is like maybe a half a
inches.
yard. This is
your
inches.
center's going to pick this up.
Yeah.
The center can pick this up just by way he stretches the ball out.
Yep, let's see.
But they're in the gun.
They are in the gun. Poitras down in the gun. He calls timeout. I was wondering if he was going to do what he did last week. He was out of the gun, moved up, got the quick snap, and got the first down on the quarterback sneak. I don't know if you remember that one play, Jesse, which was a very good play that caught Yorktown off guard.
I think they tried to get him to jump, and now they're going to go for the punt.
Yep.
It's a bit surprising here, but it's the right play.
It's the smart play, especially when you're
in your
this
own
close.
29.
Yeah, absolutely. And why not do something like that? Why not try to get the defense to jump? Because we've already seen one neutral zone infraction in this game.
Yes, we have. And Wakefield tried to get W&L to commit another one, but W&L, they stood tall.
And you got to like that. You got to like that mental toughness there from the Generals. Coaches have to be pleased with that when your defense can stand strong like that, because you don't know. Maybe they are going to snap that football there.
They watched the ball, right?
Right.
We were talking about that last week.
You have to watch the ball. That was the biggest thing last week for the defensive line of Wakefield. They were not watching the ball, and they were jumping on the hard count that Yorktown had nearly 7 or 8 times.
Yeah. There were a lot of penalties like that last week. But so far tonight,
it's
much more disciplined.
It's a poised, focused shootout here tonight, Afshin.
5:03 to go right now. Wakefield will punt the ball from their own 29.
Washinton-Lee setting up the return.
All right, here we go. And this ball is going to bounce, so Parks will leave it alone, and it's
Good
still
bounce.
bouncing. And Wakefield falls on it finally.
It's going to be Wakefield's ball.
Oh, it's going to be Wakefield's ball. Did somebody touch it?
Yeah,
How
bounce
about
off the 21.
How about the special teams awareness by Dakota Horn there? He saw that the ball hit the leg there, or it might have been the leg or just the fingertip of the special teams player there.
Jabari Johnson is who you're talking about, yeah.
And it does. It bounces off the leg, and great awareness there by Horn to fall on that football.
That's a tough one.
And the worst part about it, though, when you're on the punt team, there's usually some kind of call. Some teams use like Peter, or get away. You know, when you hear that, you got to just run to the sideline.
Right, get away
as fast as you can.
Right.
Johnson didn't do it that time. He's still trying to hold on to his block. And those kind of things happen when you're in a rivalry game.
Now there's a penalty all the way back.
It'll be an illegal procedure, and it looks like they're going to retry.
It's against Wakefield.
So how many different opportunities for both teams have been taken away by penalties in this game? 3 or 4 so far, Afshin, and we're not even at halftime.
I think, we are at 4 right now. That was a big play for Wakefield, and then now to have it called back because of an illegal – was it illegal procedure?
Yep.
I believe it was. That's a tough one.
And that's their second
one.
That's their second one on the kick.
Okay. That's a real tough one, illegal formation.
Now, if you're Washinton-Lee, you bring the house for the block.
You do, and let's see what they do here. Quinn Parks is a single safety. He's standing right about midfield. 4:53 to go here.
You got new life. You got to go get it.
High snap on that punt. This one is blocked. Wakefield with another big break here.
Surprise.
Fred Bowles with the block.
Surprise there. Special teams making another big appearance in this game. And who does it other than the guy who's been trucking down the field?
No, that was Washinton-Lee on the block.
I'm sorry, Washinton-Lee on the block. You're right.
So you got me
Washinton-Lee on the block.
excited to make that comparison.
I know. I'm sorry about that. I was looking at it's the Generals. All right, Clark with the recovery there.
I'm sure Clark's been trucking down the field,
You know.
But you saw the mistake on the punt that would have been a fumble. And what does Washinton-Lee do? They bring the house, block the punt.
Right.
Great field position, 1st and goal inside the 10-yard line.
Fred Bowles was the gentleman who punted the ball. So, but Washinton-Lee blocked it. So now the Generals, 1st and goal, looks like right at the 10-yard line. Mestry rolling out to his right after he was under center. He finds a man in the corner. This one's incomplete.
Looking for Parks.
Mestry loves to throw that ball low to where only the receiver can get it. Unfortunately, in that spot, in the front corner by the pylon, maybe a little bit too low. It looked like it might have hit the ground before getting into the receiver's hands, and that indeed, it bounces up and unable to grasp in there.
And I think was the key on that throw, too. If you watch his feet, he was throwing the ball. He was up in the air when he threw the ball.
Right.
Yeah, there's nothing. One of the things we've seen him is 3-step drop, plant the back foot and throw the ball. That time he was up in the air trying to get it there.
There's the pitch, and that is Carpenter, who comes to the outside on the near side. He picks up a couple of yards, and he goes out of bounds after that.
Decent pitch out to the outside. Good stuff there. Threatening again in the red zone are the Generals.
But where he went out of bounds, he only picked up a yard.
Yep. So it's 3rd down 8. Or 3rd and goal since we're inside the 10, right?
Yep.
So 3rd and goal now, 4:35 to go. Mestry out of the gun, looks up top. He's got
Beautiful.
Quinn Parks. No, he bobbled it and then dropped it.
Mestry able to rainbow drop that one right in towards the back pylon there, unable to be corralled in there by the receiver, Quinn Parks.
And the key here on Parks is if you watch his hands, he's trying to cradle the ball in instead of catching the ball with his hands.
Right.
If he catches the ball with his hands, he makes a play. All he has to do is turn his hands around. Instead, he's going to try to cradle in because that's what the guys do on TV.
And we've reached the top of the hour, so we'll pause for station identification. You are listening to WERA LP Arlington, Virginia, 96.7 FM. This is the WERA High School Football Game of the Week. It's the Warriors versus the Generals in an Arlington County football matchup.
Four and a half to go. Mestry with the throw. Touchdown, Washinton-Lee, 8 yards.
How about that? Able to cash in again. Both offenses have looked unstoppable, and the Generals taking command here.
Big play. They're going to go for 2 here, gentlemen.
That will be big.
And if you notice on that play, hey, who did they go to? It's the go-to guy tonight. It's Parks.
Is that his 3rd one?
Picks it up off his shoe tops, and in the end zone he goes.
That is Quinn Parks. I believe that is his 3rd touchdown of the evening. 27-14, 4:24 to go here from War Memorial Stadium.
Parks has that speed.
He does.
He caught it originally, and he was around a swarm of defenders, and he just goes and shoots right up the field, right into the end zone.
All right, the 2-point conversion now out of the eye. There's Carpenter. He cuts it back inside, takes a hit, and I believe he is going to be
tries a hard
short. Yeah,
hard
no,
swing.
they got him. They give him he got the ball over. Pardon me, Jesse. Go ahead.
Oh no, it looked like a hard swing in there, and it looks like that was indeed enough momentum to get in there for the successful conversion. It looked like he might have hit a wall of defenders
did.
But he came in and swung his body in there with so much momentum, and eventually just You got to drive your feet when you make contact, and they did it. Back to basics, drive the feet after contact. He's in and puts 2 more points up on the board.
Yeah, it did look like he hit a wall. I could even hear a crunch from up here.
What was the old student body left? And the key part there is that you got to keep your feet moving. Didn't give up. Second, third effort, was able to get him in the end zone for 6.
So on that
for
2 point, for 2. But on that conversion now, they are up by 15, 29-14. 4:24 to go here in the first half.
Now, if you are Wakefield, you need to respond before the half. You cannot take a 2-score deficit into the locker room, especially in what you've kind of established as a shootout here.
Well, I think the key also is for Wakefield is that they haven't had much offensive success this whole quarter. They scored the 2 touchdowns and they haven't done anything since the first quarter. So for them, they got to make something happen right here.
And you got to go back to basics, get your offense back up and running, and that starts with the running game with Fred Bowles. And look at that.
Yep.
That's
Palacio.
a successful onside kick recovery.
Yeah. And Washinton-Lee recovers. Palacio with a beautiful kick that they got back, and that is another staple of the head coach.
And Chris looked into his crystal ball, and he saw that special teams was going to be big in this game.
And they
How
sure
many
are.
huge special teams plays have we seen here in just the first half? A beautifully executed onside kick, and Washinton-Lee is not going to allow Wakefield to get some offensive momentum going into the locker room for the first half.
No, indeed, as they start off at midfield, or actually the Wakefield 49-yard line. Excellent field position, 1st and 10 for the Generals.
They want some more.
They got to put them up. They're up by 15. They do want some more, no doubt about it, Jesse.
Another score here could prove fatal.
All right, Mestry now out of the gun. He goes up top to the right side. He's got Parks again, but this one will be out of bounds.
And
Great catch by Parks, however.
Absolutely, and he's going right here. And just like I said, it could prove fatal for Wakefield if they are to score again before the end of the half. And you'll see that Mestry goes for the jugular again by trying to go deep there.
I love the play call here. You get the onside kick, and what do? You go deep.
You go for the jugular, right?
You go deep.
Right.
Great play call.
I wish Jay Gruden would do that on the first play against Dallas. 4-17.
To Deshaun Jackson? Yeah.
Why not? Mestry now in the flat. He's got a receiver over there. That is Carpenter.
Play.
He's got a lot of running room into the next level. Inside the 20 to the 15 to the 10. Down to about the 2-yard line. Larry Carpenter.
How pretty was that play? Just a simple pass out into the flat to Larry Carpenter, and his legs do the rest. He takes it up the left side of the field. That was just a well-executed, pretty play from the start. You just sit back, and as a commentator, you can sit back and enjoy a play like that.
Well, it's a great play call because they went deep on the first play. Okay, so Wakefield, you're thinking they're going to run the ball. So what do? They throw the screen out to the left side of the field. You saw the lineman blocking down the field. It's a great play, great effort by Washinton-Lee. Super job by the offensive line because they got down. They got on the smaller DBs, and it was just no contest.
There is Tommy Ellis, and he scores from the 2-yard line, just like that. Touchdown, Washinton-Lee.
And if you're the Warriors, this is exactly what you didn't want to have happen here. Almost a defensive self-destruct, allowing Washington-Lee to, again, punch it up again. Hard running, got the 1-2 yards they need into the end zone again for a now 3-score lead.
Big lead now for the Generals, 35-14, 3:42 to go. We're still in the first half, gentlemen.
And you see that a couple special teams mistakes, a couple penalties taking big opportunities away from Wakefield where they would have otherwise been able to go in and cash in some points of their own. It didn't go in their favor. They had some miscues, mental mistakes that they weren't able to control, and Washinton-Lee takes advantage of it, comes down the field back-to-back in a span of about 5 minutes and puts up 2 more touchdowns onto their already 1-touchdown lead, and they're up big now, 36-14, with 3:42 left here in this first half.
That extra point was good. Now, what do you do if you're Wakefield after playing so well, so hard in the first quarter, to completely fall by the wayside now in the second quarter?
One of the things you got to do, you got 3:42 left in the half. One of the things you got to do, you got to go back to basics. You got to go back to do what was working for you. You can't come out here and try to chuck the ball all over the field. That's not going to work. You got to go back to establishing the run. You got 3:42. The key here is to get a good return and then to try to at least get something in the end zone before the half. Because if you go in the half and you're down 36-21, you're still in the ball game.
It sounds much better than 36-14.
Exactly.
100% that sounds better.
But the key is that if you're Wakefield, you got to try to get something in the end zone here.
Get something in the end zone, but when you start those few plays, got to go back to basics. Probably 2 runs with Bowles, I would say. Get the offense moving, get that confidence built up, and then when you have that confidence and that poise back established, then you can take a shot with Poitras, who shows his long arm ability. We've seen it already with a 50-yard pass play to Barron earlier in the game.
And then for me, I got to figure out how, if I'm the offensive coordinator, Clark's too valuable for him not to touch the ball.
And like I said at the beginning of the game, he was going to be quiet because he was kind of the offensive factor.
Right.
Now, maybe we start to see him turn it up a little bit.
We got to get creative, figure out how to get the ball into his hands.
All right, Wakefield starts off at their own 20 as Palacios' kick went into the end zone. And
Nothing doing there.
Nothing doing. And that is Fred Bowles. He didn't get much there, maybe a yard or 2.
And Washinton-Lee, they know that this offensive squad for Wakefield has to get things going and has to get loose before they take shots down the field. So they knew that run to Bowles was probably coming there, and the defensive line stepped up.
Credit Ron Files as the defensive coordinator. He's been here for a long time at Washington-Lee. He's done a really good job as part of Coach Shapiro's staff. 3:05 and counting now.
There's the shot.
Yep, there it is. There's a man open downfield, and that one is caught complete across to the far side. And that is James Clark.
And when you have a running play to start the drive, that's basically like warming up your offense. It's warming you up. And now the offense is warming back on the field. Poitras is able to go deep, take that shot in stride. The receiver did not stop. He caught that ball. Maybe he had to slow down a little bit for that one because it was a little bit underthrown, but he's able to make the catch. Now they're in to Generals territory in good position here.
They gave Clark the ball.
They did.
They got the ball to Clark.
That's right. They go from the 21 now to the Washinton-Lee 37.
Yeah, I'm going to have Chris here buy me a couple lottery tickets because he's been predicting a lot of good stuff tonight.
Chris, you know where you're going at halftime. All right, Fred Bowles on the carry there. 2.5 to go here in the first half. This is good for Wakefield as they are finally threatening after a bit now. 2:25.
Got to be
still
smart
ticking
with the clock here, too.
The good thing, I was just about to say that. I mean, you're still okay to run the ball, but we got to show some urgency. Speed up a little bit. Get those play calls in quicker.
All right, Poitras now. And there is the pitch. It's on the near side. James Clark. And he's going to be taken. No, he's not going to be taken down for a loss.
Oh, man.
But he's going backwards right now, gentlemen. A big hit there for a great block. Poitras, or Clark.
It's going to be for naught, though.
Yep.
How about the block from that lineman there?
Yeah.
Back on the other side of the field, Clark reverses his field, originally all the way towards the 40, out of bounds on the left side. Nothing doing there. Reverses, goes all the way back. Dangerous near midfield. And how about this block? When he reverses there, you'll see the big block. Bam,
right here.
55 gets his clock cleaned.
But the key
55.
was watching the blue jerseys all stay in their lanes. The blue jerseys played the way that they were supposed to. They all stayed in their lanes, and he lost 2 yards on the play.
He did.
It's a great pursuit by the Washinton-Lee Generals.
Yeah.
It's one of those things you do in practice. You do these pursuit drills. Stay in your lanes. Great job right there by the Journals defense.
You got to credit Clark for at least getting back to the close to the original line of scrimmage after he ran the length of the field. Beautiful touchdown.
Poitras with a nice complete pass. Touchdown on the far side. The Wakefield Warriors. That's McDowell again.
Blown coverage there because Lamont McDowell was wide open on the left side there and moving straight towards the end zone there. Beautiful. It looked like, a blown coverage there, and then too late to backtrack. McDowell trots into the end zone, and that's just what the Warriors need going into halftime. They needed a spark and avoid the pile-on by Washinton-Lee.
The key was watching the safety. The safety is watching the quarterback, and he saw the play action. winning.
He took 3 steps.
And the receiver was gone.
He took 3 steps. That point after is good. 58 seconds to go. So there is that 36-21 score we were talking about for halftime. It does sound much better than 36-14.
It does, and and if you're Coach Hogwood, you really have to be pleased with the fact that your offensive squad took 4 or 5 plays and marched down the field. An emphatic march in there, and that just shows you, hey, we're not out of this thing. We do have some confidence, and we can take the ball down and score in a very quick amount of time.
Wakefield answered the call.
Yeah, and that's what I was just about to say. The key was they got punched in the mouth, they got up, and they made something happen.
So 58 seconds to go for War Memorial Stadium. Afshin Banab, Jesse Robinson, Chris Jerry, 36-21. Chris Williams, pardon me, 36-21. Washinton-Lee on top.
We got so used to our good pal Chris Jerry last week.
He'll be back, guys.
Well, it's one of those
we
things
got 2
that,
Chris's. I mean,
Afshin and Chris, like I said, they've been calling these games since, when I was a kid at Yorktown.
Oh, Lord, here we go, Jesse.
And it was at Yorktown last year that they had their big reunion game, the first time back in years. So, I don't take it personally.
We love you, man. We love you. All right.
Now, again, special teams has been pretty effective in different ways tonight.
Yeah.
So got to be careful here. Less than a minute left in the half. You don't want to give up any sort of good
Kick it
run
as far
back.
as you can.
Absolutely.
This one's going to bounce. And that is number 21. Is that Jabari Johnson for Washinton-Lee? Yeah, he has it. He crosses the 20 to about the 22-yard line.
It looked like Johnson thought that ball might have bounced all the way towards the end zone, and then he kind of fell back, able to bounce back into his hands, and then he took it and tried to make a move upfield. But great coverage there by the kickoff team for the Warriors.
And the key to remember on a kickoff, it's a live ball.
Right.
Yes.
And
it's a live
and it's not
ball.
like
That's
a
right.
punt.
It's not like a punt.
It's a live
No.
ball.
No, and
Once
sometimes
it goes 10
these kids
yards,
forget
it's
that.
anybody's ball.
All right, Mestry now with 51 seconds to go. He's got 2 receivers on the far side, 2 on the near.
4 receivers out wide. They may be trying to cash in again before the half.
Talk about cashing in. There
Oh,
is
my goodness.
Nick Miller, and he's going to score. Touchdown, Washinton-Lee down the near sideline.
Unreal.
75 yards.
Where most teams might have taken a knee. Just run the ball out and figuratively taking a knee and going in to the locker room with that big of a lead, they go for the jugular right before the half there.
Well, it's a great combo pattern on the outside, and he cut on. I have no clue what the outside backer was looking for.
know.
I mean, it was play. I mean, he got caught looking in the backfield. The receiver runs right by him, and that's a crucial, costly mistake, because the worst thing that can happen to Wakefield was to give up a quick score.
So we had the quick score.
And now we have an injury.
We have an injury on the field, so we will step aside briefly and come back here to War Memorial Stadium.
All right. Ben Severs was the injured player. He got up. He walked off under his own power. Washinton-Lee with a failed 2-point conversion. With 39 seconds left, 42-21. The Generals on top here in the first half.
You went down that checklist pretty well of catching everybody up there. And, again, glad the player for Washinton-Lee is okay. And like you said, a failed attempt there. Great job by the interior defensive line for the Warriors to stuff that attempt.
Are any two surprised with that 2-point conversion try?
No, not because because of who the coach is. We know him very well, and I'm not surprised at all.
I mean, I guess you figure if you go in with the 22-point lead instead of the 21-point
Right.
lead.
Now, if you're Wakefield, you just saw Washinton-Lee do it to you before the half. Do you try and do something maybe here?
Chris is saying no way.
Chris says no way. You are now down pretty big.
Yeah.
Your score has been doubled.
Best thing, take a knee, go in the locker room, get it all worked out in the halftime.
All right. The Generals now set to kick off here. James Clark.
Put the ball up in the air, 3 things can happen.
Right.
2 of them are bad.
Right?
It'll be interesting to see how the Warriors respond down 3 touchdowns coming in back into the second half. If they do follow their mentality or not of having that short-term memory and playing a whole new second half and trying to get back into the game.
All right, kick now.
High kick.
It is. Clark from his own 8-yard line. He bobbles it, picks it up, goes to the far side, and then he's taken down.
That was Xavier Taylor.
That was.
Taylor trying to find something there, but nothing doing really on the return.
Good eye, Mr. Jesse Robinson.
Yeah, he has some sort of chance here. He's got the 3 blockers in front of him, fumbles the ball towards his leg, and then has to try and recuperate, take it back, and then he gets tossed down by a host of defenders on the kickoff team for Washington-Lee back towards the 10-yard line.
Right, and now this is where you probably do want to just take a knee.
Yeah, just take a knee, get out of
here.
here.
I mean, you're almost in the shadows of your own goalpost here with 31 seconds to go. But nope, Poythress is going to hand it off.
Just a simple handoff, but look at this.
A nice big run on the far side again. And that is Fred Bowles, and he gets a good, nice chunk of yardage there.
And Bowles, it does not matter what time is on the clock,
No.
what the score is. He's churning his legs, downhill running, no matter what the situation is. And you got to love when a player just has that spirit 24/7.
And the key to remember is that in high school football, the clock stops on the first down.
It does. There was about a 20-yard pickup there, so it is now 1st and 10 with 12 seconds, clock ticking. Here's the ball to snap. Poythress stays in the pocket. He goes deep. And there's a flag on the play right there.
That flag was late.
Yes, it was.
But maybe they are trying to get something going here.
I mean,
They certainly are.
Try to find a spark, try to find anything, and it'll be interesting to see what the call is on the flag.
Oh, that's pass interference all the way.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he still has his jersey on.
We'll see with 3 seconds left now on the clock. So Wakefield.
Does that then move you up for maybe a shot?
Well, you got to remember it's pass interference in high school, so it's going to be a 15-yard
15-yard penalty from the
Right.
spot, yeah.
So it's going to get him to about the 40,
Line of
43-yard
scrimmage.
line.
But, hey, why not take a shot? You got 3 seconds left.
Got
so
3 seconds left.
You know,
We've seen
At this
Poythress already air it out for a 50-yard pass play, so it's not unheard of.
And if you watch Washinton-Lee defense, these guys are back already 25 yards.
They're ready.
they sure are. Ball at the Wakefield 42-yard line. Poythress now. He's going to run it. He's on the far side.
Not sure what he saw there.
I don't know, but he did go over the line of scrimmage. It looked like he tried to throw it.
Yeah.
But that's the end of the half. Anyway, here we go from War Memorial Stadium. Afshin Banab, Jesse Robinson, Chris Williams. 42-21. The Generals on top of the Warriors. Wakefield set to kick off here. And Quinn Parks, of course,
Now,
set back.
if Coach Hogwood's philosophy holds true here, a clean slate.
He's down. He's down.
Yeah,
He's
his
down.
knee was down. Go ahead, finish that thought, Jesse.
Oh, no, I was just going to say it's a clean slate here. If you're Wakefield, in your mind anyway. Clearly, it's not a clean slate on the actual board, but you have to treat it as such.
Put it out of your mind, just like the last play. So what Chris alluded to was the knee was on the ground when the kick returner caught the ball. In high school ball, when your knee is on the ground, play is dead.
That's it.
So Washinton-Lee will start off on the far hash mark, their own 15-yard line. The Generals going left to right on your radio dial or on your laptop, wherever you might be listening or streaming us. All right, Carpenter
Certainly
in the
no
backfield.
shortage of places to do that.
No, many, many places. Carpenter in the backfield, Mestry out of the gun. Wakefield showing blitz. And they bring Carpenter down right away.
I thought I heard an inadvertent
I
whistle
sure thought
of
so,
sorts,
too.
and that maybe was like a whistle from the band or the stands. I was a little bit thrown off there,
I
but
was too, yeah.
clearly the referees, the officials, and the players were not on the field.
And key for Wakefield, that's a great start.
Yeah.
Great start.
That's a
First
great-
play out of the chute. Get a stop for a 3-yard loss.
All right, Mestry out of the gun, deep in his own territory. He's looking to the left side, and he has it complete to a receiver on the far side.
Offense.
And that is
keeping going here.
That's right. Andrew Malone on the far side. That's enough for a first down.
And the perfect part for Mestre, you see it right there once again. 1, 2, 3, ball's gone. He plants that back foot, the ball's away. When he throws in rhythm like that, he's probably the best player on the field.
13-yard gain for Mestre to Malone. Ball on the 26-yard line now.
Sounds like a law firm.
Mestre to Malone. Mestre once again.
Second catch of the night, I believe, for Malone.
That is. You are right, Jesse. This time Malone across the middle. This one is complete.
Oh, man.
And that one is Nick Miller. And this ball is loose. And this could be the big play you gentlemen were talking about. Let's see.
Clean slate, open arms, defender grabs the ball. The receiver turned without the ball. He turned upfield without securing the ball fully, got popped in the arm. That ball comes up in the air, and it's a big, big turn of events here for the Warriors.
And the Warriors get the ball.
I need Fred, I need Ed Facenda here because that's immaculate reception.
John Facenda, right?
John Facenda. I think, John Facenda, Ed Sable.
That's right.
I mean, that's the immaculate reception.
That is. It did look like it. And the ball crosses the field and the poetry of the motion. John Facenda, one of the great football broadcasters of all time. He could make it sound poetic.
I mean, but that was that play right there.
That was. It sure was. It did look like Franco Harris, that whole situation against the Raiders. Here it is, 1st and 10 ball on the 38. Wakefield in great field position right now. Their first possession of the second half. Poitras now. He fakes it. He rolls out. He throws it. And that is incomplete down the far side.
Yeah, would have been a great play there. Poitras did a great job avoiding the sack, got towards the sideline, slung it out, and the receiver looked like it might have been able to keep his feet down in bounds, but unable to corral that pass, even though Poitras threw it pretty dead on.
But if you're McDowell, you got to make that catch. You got to make that catch. Because now, hey, Big Brother Mo's looking at you like, hey, I might come back to you. Give me something.
All right, 2nd down, 10, ball on the 38. Once again, Poitras out of the gun, and this time he will give it to Fred Bowles, and he doesn't really get much out of that one.
And I might know the reason why. It looked like an awkward exchange there between the quarterback and the running back there. He looked like he almost turned to the wrong side and then had to dish it off with his back hand there to the back.
There was definitely some confusion in the backfield on that play. Not sure who made the mistake, but one of them did.
Right.
Well, it's now 3rd and 8, so now time for them to clear that mistake and try to drive down there as they got this big advantage as they open up the second half.
Half-Sheen, this is a big play. This is a big play for the Warriors. 3rd and long. Got to get some offensive momentum going here.
Poitras has 2 receivers to the near side. That would be the left side. He's once again out of the gun, and he fakes the handoff. He rolls out. He throws it, and this one is incomplete.
It was great pressure. Great pressure by the D-line there of Washinton-Lee, getting in the face of Poitras and forcing him to throw a ball into the ground that he really did not want to throw.
And again, credit defensive coach Ron Files from Washinton-Lee. He has done a tremendous job game planning his defense against Wakefield's offense here.
And that's a tough play right there because you're running kind of a waggle, bootleg, but they're running into the boundary, into the short side of the field. You got to run that to the wide side of the field to give you guys a little bit more room to make a play.
All right, big 4th down play here now. From the 36, Poitras rolls out again to his right, and this time he'll throw it. This one's intercepted by Washinton-Lee on the far side.
Poitras wishes he has that one back.
Yes, indeed.
He's been pretty poised all night and pretty safe with his passing. If it's not directly, it's low. But unfortunately there, the defender steps in front of that pass and picks Poitras off for the first time tonight.
He was trying to make something out of nothing.
Right.
But actually, that's really not that bad because in the end, Washinton-Lee's going to lose about 5 yards.
They did.
So
they did. That's right.
So it was a mistake, but it's a mistake that
the interception was bad,
right,
but
yeah,
right.
So 1st and 10 now, ball on the 35-yard line. Washinton-Lee takes over in their own end.
Short memory, Jesse. You always got to look for the positive.
There you go.
Mestry, 5 yards deep in the backfield. He's got one running back with him. That's Carpenter. He fakes it to him across the middle again. This one is complete, and that is Miller. He's on the run.
How about this?
Down the far sideline, Nick Miller still on his feet and finally taken down.
It looked like a carbon copy of the play we saw where the ball got popped in the air. The same route, crossing over the middle is Miller. This time he secures the ball, gets across midfield, and then turns on the accelerators all the way up the sideline until he's finally taken down close to the red zone.
And Nick Miller made that mistake a few minutes ago, and they go right back to him.
Just about to say that. How many times have we seen it over the years, and even tonight with Coach Shapiro? A kid makes a mistake, you know what? He goes right back to him on the next play. And that time they ran the same play.
Right, they did, and I think this is the third or fourth time tonight now.
We've seen it with Parks, and now we just seen it again with Miller. We got a general down on the field.
Well, yes.
Having faith in your players is a big thing. So we have an injury on the field. We'll step aside briefly.
All right, we are back. That was Nick Miller who was injured. He walked off under his own power. And then now Larry Carpenter with that first play. He ran to the near side and he was taken out of bounds. Not much of a gain there, gentlemen.
Yeah, not as great of a gain as we saw in the previous play there with Miller. Obviously, we hope the player is okay, but what an electrifying way to get your offense moving there.
Absolutely. It looked
And
like
it's
he
the
got
second or third time that we've seen this play. It's
Right.
kind of a variation of a shuffle pass almost. It's a jet sweep, but it's kind of a shuffle pass. And we've seen it several times tonight. It's worked a little bit in the first half, but I think this time Wakefield sniffed it out.
That was a 4-yard loss, so second down 14 from the 30 now. After that big Nick Miller play, he looks like he's okay. He probably got the wind knocked out of him. He took his helmet off. He walked off under his own power, so we'll probably see him back in the game soon.
Most likely.
Yeah. So 9:39 to go here from War Memorial Stadium.
And it just shows you there's confidence all around this Washinton-Lee squad. Confidence to go down and score, confidence from the coach to the player in the sense that they're not going to be punished by lack of play time or lack of targets.
You love that, right?
Yeah.
As a player.
Absolutely.
Well, the key is also Mestry, Parks, Miller, they're seniors.
Yeah, they are. They have a lot of
so
seniors.
they've earned that right.
They earn the right, and they have the senior leadership, the senior swagger on the field.
All right, Mestry now out of the pocket. He throws. This one is complete to Parks. Parks cuts it back inside to the 20, the 15, still on his feet. Brought down by a host of Wakefield Warriors inside the 10-yard line. A beautiful run after the catch.
I'll tell you what, it's
Shaking
really,
and baking.
It's really something to watch this guy Parks yards after the catch. He makes the catch, secures the ball, and then he begins to make the magic happen, shaking off defenders and gaining those extra yards.
And time after time, we've seen it over the years. Parks catches the ball, and the first thing he does, he looks to advance the ball up the field.
Yeah.
He's not going to get out of bounds. He's not going to go down. He's getting yards.
So this ball marked at the 10. It'll
Penalty
be
flag.
first and goal. Now there is a flag down.
False start.
Yep.
Illegal procedure, yep.
Yeah, this isn't a bad thing for Washinton-Lee. It gives them a little bit more field to work with, actually, I think.
There's that positive
There you
approach
go.
there.
So they move it back 5 yards. First and goal from the 15-yard line.
And as a coach and a player, you have to look at it that way.
Right.
You can't. And as when we look at it and we comment on it, we do say, well, that might stall your red zone
Right.
trip. But they may think of it differently.
Let's see. Mestry has two receivers to the left, one to the right. He goes to the right, or to the right, Quinn Parks. Quinn Parks looked like he was going in. Mestry threw it to the corner on a fade pattern.
Yeah, miscommunication there between quarterback and receiver. The receiver was towards more of the middle 3/4 of the field there, of the end zone, and Mestry kind of floated that one out towards the back pylon. So nothing doing there, and they'll try again on second down.
Second and goal now.
And a lot of times in a play like that, it's kind of an option route. And the receiver has the option to go in and go out, and he like to go in. Mestry thought he was going out.
Yep, there you go.
Dangerous throw there as Miller was literally had 4 Wakefield defenders around him. That ball a little bit high, close to the hands of Mingo Peterson there. So possible interception.
And this is one of those plays also that there's too many white shirts to throw that ball. But the good thing was that he threw it high, so nobody.
So no one could catch it, right. So third down goal, 8:59 to go here. Mestry once again.
And if you're Wakefield, you got to get a stop.
Mestry looking. This time he's rolling to the near side. He's got to get rid of it. He does. And this one's intercepted by Wakefield Warrior. He comes out of the end zone.
Oh, wow.
He's got to run it. He's crossing the 20-yard line, and then he's taken down.
And that's where the confidence, too much confidence, can be a problem in the red zone there, Chris. And like you said, he was escaping there and got out there, but he made a throw that maybe he'd like to have back. The defender picks it off right by the front pylon there and able to take it out. A great turnover opportunity for Wakefield, taking the scoring position away and keeping this game close.
James Clark.
And that's
the interception.
twice in this series, and that series of plays where he threw ill-advised pass. And Jesse alluded to it. That senior swagger a little bit. Hey, 21 points. You got a little bit of confidence. Let's see what Wakefield can do now.
But it's just what the doctor ordered for the Warriors here.
Great opportunity to take advantage, and a bad snap, and this one goes over Poitras' head, and he falls on it at about the 9-yard line.
And we saw this so many times last week, Afshin. Whenever the Warriors looked like they were going to be able to get something going, whenever they had some sort of momentum, they shoot themselves in the foot with different miscues and different misfires. And you have to eliminate those on and off the field. But right there, a big example of why they are down by 3 scores.
And that miscue cost them 15 yards on that one.
Man.
So back to the 10-yard line, now second down, 24.
And that just shows you how important a snap is to the beginning of a play. I mean, as a former center myself, if the snap was just a little bit high and the quarterback it could throw off the entire play.
Here it is now, second down, 24.
Jesse, I just realized why you and I get along so well.
Oh, here we go.
You play center, I play quarterback.
Ah, there we go.
That's how we get along so well. It's figured out.
Perfect.
And the key is that
you owe him a steak dinner then.
Well, the fact that he acknowledges the importance of the quarterback-center exchange.
He was talking about it last week. It is so important. The center really is the captain of the team. He starts off everything.
People take it for granted that you do it over and over and over again. But it's so funny when you think, like, for a long time when Theismann was a quarterback for the Skins, Gibbs wouldn't do shotgun.
No, he wouldn't, and then he changed. Yeah.
But, it's because too many things can happen.
All right, back to play on the field. Fred Bowles, he got a few yards out of it. What's interesting, you talk about the center, and I'm not making fun here, Jesse, but Washington against Pittsburgh on Monday night, Lichtensteiger, who is the center, I couldn't believe he had two offsides calls on him.
Well, that
you're the one snapping the ball.
And I'll talk about that
Illegal
briefly.
procedures.
And from watching that game, you had to have wondered why Sean McVay was incorporating a hard count in every play that the Redskins did on offense when the only people it was fooling was the Redskins' offensive line. Lichtensteiger twitching the ball a little bit.
And then the flag.
Right, yeah, absolutely.
All right, Wakefield now punting the ball.
Hopefully a better result against Dallas.
Oh, God, yes. We'll see. There's Quinn Parks. He's got some running room. Crosses the Wakefield 40-yard line. Pickup of about 15, 16 yards on that return. Good job by Parks again.
So another example here of Wakefield getting some momentum, getting something that might turn it around, and then the drive stalls.
But the drive stalls because they can't get out of their own way.
Yeah. Right. They're getting out of the driveway, and then they're running over something before they can get on the highway.
All right, 1st and 10 now for Washinton-Lee. Ball on the 39-yard line, the Wakefield 39.
Going to be another tough request for this Wakefield defense, but they got to come up with another stop.
Certainly Mestry now. And there's movement along the line.
Yellow laundry on the field.
Yeah, Jesse, I want to ask you something now. It's interesting you said Sean McVay. Now, you pointedly blame him for those 2 Lichtensteiger miscues, right?
Well, yeah, the hard count incorporated with the offense. Right. As the offensive coordinator, I'm sure he was behind some, if not most, of those.
Yeah, so why was he doing that hard count on his own on the offensive line?
I'm not sure. I mean, I knew the defensive line for Pittsburgh is young. They're not that steel curtain that they used to be up there in Pittsburgh. So it might have been trying to take advantage of a younger Pittsburgh Steelers defensive line. But, again, it didn't work.
No.
And it only ended up hurting the Skins, as even seasoned pros like Trent Williams were jumping off sides on the hard count.
Mestry with a nice catch on the near side. Or Parks, rather, with a nice catch on the near side from Mestry. Parks is just doing everything tonight.
Well, it's him and Mestry. I mean,
Mestry is a gunslinger.
Yeah,
I'll tell
he
you
is.
that.
They have chemistry like a periodic table. I'm telling you, man, they are good. This is the first time we've seen them in action this season. So 5:40 to go. Second down 3, 7 yards on that pickup. Ball on the 32-yard line. Wakefield's 32, that is. And there's Mestry again. One player in the backfield. He goes across the middle. Big hit. But that one was complete. Sidner with the catch.
Sidner, he's down now, injured, but what a player to be able to grab that. It's a dangerous throw. You know that linebacker's coming over when you throw that ball over the middle like that. You know that big hit's coming, and you just got to do your best to grab that ball over the middle and say a little prayer and make sure you hang on to the ball.
You know,
Comes over the middle, takes a big rock there.
Manhood issue. You know, when you go in there, you got to know what's going to happen. Nothing good can happen when you catch the ball on a quick slant like that.
And the receiver is down on the field, so we'll step away. An injury timeout on the field here at War Memorial Stadium. We'll step aside.
All right, we are back, and there is a penalty marker on the field. Sidnor looks like he's okay. He walked off under his own power, so 5:25 to go here.
And it is the top of the hour, so we'll pause for station identification. You are listening to WERA LP Arlington, Virginia, 96.7 FM. This is the WERA High School Football Game of the Week.
That penalty was a 15-yard unsportsmanlike.
All right, first down now. Mestry with the handoff. That looks like it is to Tommy Ellis, the big man, the 200-pounder for Washinton-Lee. And he picks up a few of those lost yards. He picks them up, gets some of them back here. So 5 minutes now remaining here in the third quarter. We come to you from War Memorial Stadium. Afshin Banav, Jesse Robinson, Chris Williams. 42-21, Washinton-Lee on top of Wakefield.
Tough sledding for the Warriors tonight.
Tough sledding indeed.
It is.
It's like sledding without any snow.
Second down 19, ball on the 32-yard line.
You can sled without snow, but it'll be rough.
It'll be rough, yeah. Mestry.
See if they can get another defensive stop.
This one in the flat to Quinn Parks. Parks tries to bring it back across the middle, and he's taken down and he lost the ball.
Parks trying to make something out of nothing there. And
he's slow getting up. He's not even really getting up yet.
And a penalty. Yep. Several different things going on here. First, you have the throw out to him, and then he brings it back inside. Looks like he loses the football. Then he's down for the injury, and also we have a penalty flag, dead ball, a procedure against Wakefield.
Yeah, unsportsmanlike.
Unsportsmanlike.
And they've got Quinn Parks down, and they are stretching his leg. So
I went down the checklist like you do, Afshin. I
did
pretty
a
good
great
with that.
job.
Yeah.
I think you did a great job. You went down all of that. You did it better than I did, man.
Right. Well,
4:15 to go.
And if you're Wakefield, that's an unfortunate penalty.
Yeah.
It's at that point you get a kid chirping a little bit too much, standing right next to the referee. I mean, that's an easy flag for the ref to throw. But you were sitting at 3rd and 22, and now you're going to give him 15 yards and automatic first down.
Yeah, it's about attention to detail. I mean, the final thing I talked to Coach Hogwood about was what a coach can do to eliminate mistakes and miscues on the field. And he said that as a coach, his role was to make sure that the players pay attention to detail. And you got to pay attention to detail on different penalty instances like that.
Absolutely. Quinn Parks, he walked off, a little bit of a limp, so hopefully just needs to stretch a little bit, and he'll be okay. So this will be now third down, 7. Washinton-Lee gets all the way back down to the 20-yard line now.
That'll be a lack of at least one offensive weapon here on this third.
That's right.
And in the red zone, third down.
And if you're Washinton-Lee, this is 2-down territory.
And Washinton-Lee has 4 receivers, 2 to the right, 2 to the left. Tim Stobel in now in the slot on the right side. He just moved a little bit, but no flag there. Mestry's going up to the left side.
What a pass.
And this one's touchdown, Washington-Lee on the far side.
What a beautiful pass by Mestry there. Unbelievable. That ball floated so long dead center that it looked like a defender could have easily maybe stepped in front of that for an interception, but it came right to the waiting stomach there of the receiver.
There's no communication in the defensive backfield. Somebody has to yell, ball, ball, ball.
Right.
You know, I mean, the DB never turned around. The receiver turned around, the DB never turned around.
That exchange looked way too easy.
Yeah, I mean, as a DB, you're taught
to turn around when
the receiver turns, you turn.
Yeah.
And never
ball,
turn
ball,
around.
ball.
Yeah,
exactly.
Somebody has to talk out there.
Andrew Malone turned, and no one else did, so he decided he's going to catch it and score. And there's a muff on the extra point.
A lot of special teams intrigue.
No, yeah, indeed. So that makes it 48-21.
And that's really tough to come back at this point.
It's a big margin.
If you're Wakefield. A little bit better than last week, and maybe it is a slow process. You go from some of the blank games, 35-0, and you if you want to find a silver lining and what you can show for yourself is that you did score 3 touchdowns so far in this game. And when I talked to Coach Hogwood, I said, if you could pinpoint a silver lining so far in the season, what would it be? And he said the silver lining is that it's very early still.
It is.
And it'll take them a while to get going. He said they're 0-2. They are going to go to 0-3. It looks like if this game keeps up in the same fashion. But they were 0-2 this time last year, he pointed out.
Right.
And they also turned things around. He said they just have to focus on the things they can control and go out and play with intensity, which they have, but unfortunately the intensity was matched and then doubled by Washinton-Lee.
Last year they did start off 0-2, and they went on an 8-game winning streak, got into the playoffs, and they lost in the first round there. All right.
4-yard line.
This one is taken from the 4-yard line, and that is James Clark, I believe, and he gets to the 25, 26-yard line. So a good 22-yard return for Mr. Clark.
Player down.
And there's a player down once again.
Washinton-Lee not having good luck on the injury front tonight. Another player down. Good job of the runner getting to the edge, but a great football move, a great tackle made at the legs by one of the members of the special teams of the Washinton-Lee kickoff squad.
Yeah, you are right, Jesse.
Looked like it was 21 there, Jabari Johnson.
Yeah. It has been unfortunate with regards to injuries now for Washinton-Lee tonight. Fortunately for the other ones, though, they did seem to get back in the game.
Well, with another injury on the field, this time we will step aside and rejoin back here at War Memorial Stadium shortly.
We are back 3:40 and counting. Jabari Johnson made his way off the field safely and soundly. Fred Bowles with a nice 2-yard pickup on that play right after he got off the field. So it'll be 2nd down 7. Give it 3 yards on that one. Ball from the 29-yard line. And
even at this point, late in the third quarter, it's already going to start looking like it's about pride now for the Warriors. How do you respond in the face of adversity? And it looks like they're going to respond by Poythress going deep, incomplete. Trying to go for that same sort of pass they got luck with earlier with Barron, the 50-yard pass. Great job by the defensive back just getting a hand in there and tipping that ball away. Great job.
Well, Barron had
to slow down there.
He had the DB beat.
Yeah.
I mean, he had like
three or four yards
on him and had to slow up for the pass. That pass was thrown just a half second earlier. We might have been talking and warming up the band over there.
So 3rd down 7, 3:11 to go. Wakefield running from their own 29-yard line.
Still looking for that spark.
Poythress now, he's rolling to his right, being pressured from behind. Cuts it back now. He gets to the 35. They're trying to bring him down. They finally do. He is short of the first down.
And like we were talking about, there's the example that we saw last week of Poitras saying, "Hey, I can also run the ball. I don't just sit back here and throw like a pretty boy. I'm going to run the ball too,
Right.
and I'm going to make you question what I'm going to do each play."
And he did a great job when he turned upfield. He turned his shoulders and he went downfield. He's a yard short, but at this point in the game, if I'm Wakefield, you got to go.
You got to go, and that's
Quarterback
what they're
sneak for Poitras would be good.
Quarterback sneak. All right, 4th and 1.
Bowles.
Bowles, the crystal ball has spoken over here to the left.
And actually, don't forget about Tommy. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see here, Brad.
They're out of the eye.
You were right. Wow.
Yep, there you go. A big push does he get up to close to the 40-yard line. He gets a big push from his offensive line.
You forgot to get your lottery tickets at halftime.
Oh, Chris, you didn't go?
I think the key there is that you gotta give it to Bowles there. I mean,
yeah.
Poitras is a great quarterback and he's a pretty good runner, but I'm putting my money on Bowles.
Right. Well, they got to the 40-yard line now. 1st and 10. They operate from the 40. 1:57 to go here.
Good to keep the drive alive. It's good to get something going here and keep up the positivity on that Wakefield sideline.
And you alluded to it, Jesse. It's all about pride at this point if you're Wakefield.
All right, Poitras now once again out of gun. He stays in the pocket. He unloads on the right side, and that one's incomplete.
And that's 2 deep, prideful throws there by Poitras. But credit this Washington-Lee defensive backcourt there. They have stepped up over the past couple plays, knocking those balls away. Great coverage provided there deep down the field.
Right. Jabari Johnson on the coverage did a good job. I think he might have even gotten a hand on the ball. But there's a good play there.
It's just a great coverage.
He plays it well. He's turned around. He's looked directly at the wide receiver to make sure, hey, when that ball comes down, I'm taking a swipe.
He certainly did that. So this will bring up now 2nd and 10 from the 40 for Poitras.
It was the first time Wakefield took the shot on 1st down. They had been giving it to Bowles on 1st down, then taking a shot on 2nd down. But they took a shot on 1st down.
There's the fake and then the pitch out on the far side. Good run.
That was a great play there, that pitch out from Poitras over to Bowles.
Yeah.
And he had some room. He had a seam. He found it up for another 1st down for the Warriors.
They ran the option several times against Yorktown last week with mixed success. It's the first time they ran that speed option tonight.
Lots of room there. Cuts it up to the middle, though, where he gets to where he needs to move the chains.
Carried some players with him. Took some generals up a couple more yards with him. So it's 1st down, 10. Ball on the Washinton-Lee 49.
And the Warriors are building a good drive here.
They certainly are. Here it is in the flat again. James Clark, he bobbles it, picks it back up, tries to find some running room, and he's taken down immediately.
Clark makes every play exciting, and unfortunately he's a little bit slow to get up, but he will get up fine. Just maybe looks a little bit irritated after that bubble screen. Didn't work out as well as he would have liked, but you see the ball comes over to him. He has it and bobbles it up to himself, able to corral it, but for little gain.
I think the frustration was the pass was a little late. I mean, he was open from the get. As the quarterback, just get the ball in hand and get it out there too. I mean, he saw he was open and he just the frustration. Give me the ball.
That half second you're talking about, Chris. There is the give to Bowles once again, still on his feet, making yard after yard, getting close to a 1st down. He picked up about 6 or 7 there. Big run by Bowles.
And what I like here is that Wakefield hasn't forgot about the run plays. They haven't forgot about the run game. And they're doing a great job of feeding Bowles. He's getting yards for him. And, hey, this is 3rd and 3. That's manageable.
Give him 7. Yeah.
Going back to the bread and butter of what works, downhill, physical running with Bowles. It's worked all night. Sans a couple different stuffs from the interior defensive line of W&L.
Keep feeding him. You have a lot of confidence in him. You can't stop feeding this guy. All right, they turn things around. Bowles gets the gets the carry once again. He is the main ball carrier for Wakefield. As we open up this 4th quarter, gentlemen.
Another run for Bowles. Start to feed him here so he can get towards that 100 yards that I predicted in my ball earlier.
And the key is that's where they had their success at the beginning of the game. You know, they had the success beginning of the game, feeding bowls. You know, they're down, but you know what? Let's go back to what's working for them.
And the stats guys here up in the booth let us know that Afshin, he reached 100 yards at halftime.
Impressive. Impressive indeed. Poitras running in the backfield. Gets rid of it. Let's see.
Poitras, he did a great job running all the way out to the outside, pointing out the whole time, but the ball was low.
It was
so,
low.
And that's hard when you have to throw across your body on the run like that, and it came out low. But the one thing I did see right there, a great act of sportsmanship, when Poitras took the hit, went down, Washington-Lee guy went and picked him up.
Picked him up. Yeah, I see that. Yep.
It's good to see, even in a rivalry game.
Absolutely.
He did a great job of extending the play.
Yeah.
And so he got flushed out a little bit, extended the play, kept the play alive. He could have probably ran the ball. Wasn't going to get as many yards as he probably could have got throwing the ball.
And when you see plays like that of sportsmanship, it's usually respect on respect.
Yes.
And Poitras has definitely earned that respect tonight.
He's had a good game tonight, no doubt about it.
Looks like a 33 running the ball, George Brooks.
Yeah, that's about his third carry of the night.
Yeah, and at this point in the game, it's not going to be a W in your column here. Start trying out different guys, you know. Brooks now gets another carry instead of Bowles. Start to mix it up a little bit and see who could be a capable number 2 at that position, or who's going to be in a more of a rotation.
Got that time to do that with 10 minutes and what do we have, 45 seconds to go?
Absolutely.
There's a lot of different schemes now Wayne Hogwood could put in.
Sure.
A lot of different players that you can really find out about on the field and see how they do. So this is a good time for that as Poitras now rolls out, and he is sacked for a big loss. Back to midfield. They were at the 38, the Washinton-Lee 38.
The Washington-Lee defense read that play like a book. They saw that it was going to be some sort of pitch-out play to the running back Bowles, but then they cover him, and then the other guy goes to the backside of the quarterback. They trap that play completely, stuff it up, and now it's a 4th down for the Warriors.
It was a speed option that they had success with earlier, and that time they did sniff it out, which I'm really surprised because they ran the play a lot last week, and we've only seen it twice tonight.
So 4th and forever now. They actually spot the ball at the 46-yard line. So Wakefield at the Washinton-Lee 46. Poitras now. They need about 17 for a first. He's going to go up top. 2 defenders on 1 receiver there. And this one's intercepted. On the near side, Clarks comes up to the 40, the 50, crosses midfield, still on his feet. That is Quinn Parks again. Mr. Everything for Washinton-Lee. Gets the interception, takes it all the way back to the Wakefield 36-yard line.
Afshin, if James Clark doesn't make that tackle, he's gone. Quinn Parks doing it, like you said, all over the field tonight, scoring touchdowns, interceptions all over. He would be the Mr. It factor tonight for Washinton-Lee.
Certainly he has done everything on the football field.
Porcher just kind of threw that one up for grabs.
Yeah.
I mean, at that point, you got nothing to lose. They pick it. Hopefully the guy gets tackled as good as the punt. The guy falls down. But Parks made it look like a punt as he ran that one back.
I don't know if Parks even knew that he had intercepted that ball.
Yeah.
No one knew where that was.
Hey, look what I got.
Another injury on the field, this time for Wakefield, it looks like.
All right, 9:26 to go. Washinton-Lee now with the ball in Wakefield territory. Mestry with the handoff. And that is number 21 for the Generals, Jabari Johnson.
Jabari Johnson had a head of steam there, and if he had not been shoestring tackled right there, Afshin, it would have been another tack on of the lead here by the Generals.
And the last time we saw Jabari Johnson, he was walking out the field with some cramps.
Right, he was, and now here he is in the game.
It's another example of how players bounce back, and one player who didn't need to bounce back because he just kept bouncing forward this whole time was number 2, Quinn Parks, in this
amazing game tonight.
Afshin, 3 receiving touchdowns, 1 touchdown kickoff return, and an interception. He's been all over the field tonight for Washinton-Lee.
We just saw Quinn Parks with that interception, And, he is Mr. Everything tonight. No doubt about it. As we are here now, 1st and 10, 9:20 to go. Arlington Independent Media, WERA 96.7 FM. Our simulcast, if you will, right, Jesse?
Yeah.
It's first down. The Generals.
First and
20 now from the 46. They had to move that ball back. I did not see the penalty on that play. There was a holding on that one, it looked like. Okay, so here we are again, pushing up to about the 38-yard line. Tommy Ellis, the ball carrier. Trace makes the stop on Ellis.
And it's good to see that Shapiro's starting to spread out the wealth a little bit. Here you see Ellis getting the handoff. He gets some yards here. He's been kind of quiet since, probably the beginning of the game. We haven't called his name out much. So it's good to see, they got a 27-point lead, start to spread the wealth out.
Right, it works both ways. You're down by a lot, you can do some things you don't normally do. You're up by a lot, you can see what you have in your tank and put out.
As much as Quinn Parks has done tonight, he can. I think he deserves the rest of the night off.
I think so.
After the resume he put up tonight, absolutely. How about that?
All right. That was Mestry.
Dump off to the fullback in the flat.
That's right. Ethan Allen on the far side. Good catch and run. Ethan Hall, I should say, on the far side. Getting a little promo for that company, I guess. But Ethan Hall with a good catch and run. And this will bring up third down. He was short of the first, but he picked up a huge chunk of yardage.
Not often you see a guy running with almost like a horse collar there and, coming out of his shoulder pads, and he's running with the football. Looks like a big linebacker.
Looks like Mike Allstott.
Exactly.
Mike, you're in good hands with Allstott. Ethan Hall, by the way, another senior on this Washinton-Lee Generals team, 205-pound fullback and linebacker.
Bunch of them. It's a bunch of seniors on this team.
Mestry on the far side. This one's complete. Looks like it's Nick Miller over there. He's well short of the first down.
Miller back in the game and making some late game moves after he was hit pretty hard on that play over the middle. And now he's getting back into the action here. Takes a nice middle of the way pass from Mestry out to the sideline there. Decent pickup.
And one of the keys I know I've harped on a lot tonight with the quarterback play, when Mestry plants his foot on that third step and he gets the ball away, throws in rhythm, he makes great passes. When he gets flushed out a little bit and that's improvised a little bit, he gets in a little bit of trouble.
Fourth down, they're going to go for it. Mestry finds a receiver. This one is complete.
Open.
Yeah, wide open he certainly was, Jesse, and that's more than enough for a first down.
And the receiver had to come back to get that ball. It looked like he was headed towards the end zone almost, but then he came back, able to catch that ball, free up some space, get open, and make Mestry look really dang good.
Do you know who caught that ball?
Who caught that ball?
It was Quinn Parks.
How about it?
Quinn Parks trying to make something out of something, actually, as you said.
Great job.
Yeah.
But Mestry had the ball out
fast
before he made his break.
And I mentioned this last week, even if you do put up huge numbers early in the game and throughout the course of the game, as a player, as a star player, you do not want to be taken out towards the end. You want to finish what you started, and I think that's what we're going to see here with Parks.
Yep,
flag.
There's a flag, and Parks actually just came off the field. I guess he'll take a break on this play. But you're
we'll
right.
see. Maybe that might be it after that play there.
But you make a great point. I remember when I used to play ball, I never wanted to get out of the game no matter what the score was.
Absolutely not.
Especially if you had such a great game like Quinn Parks.
Not only that, but, hey, it's a rivalry game.
It is a rivalry game.
Those guys across the field,
you've
known those guys since elementary school, preschool. You grew up with these guys.
That's
and
right.
to be up on these guys, hey, I'm not coming out the game.
Give me back my Lego. That's right. Absolutely. Let's take this on the field about 15 years from now.
From Lego to pigskin.
There you go.
I think it's going to come back again.
Whistle. Yep.
Back-to-back false starts. So this, what looked like another capitalizing drive for Washington-Lee, looks like a little bit more of a self-destruction as they were so close again to the red zone.
They are real close again, and they're threatening, and there's 6:14 to go right now. Washington-Lee.
We can
up
hear
48-21.
We can hear and see the band. If you like music, if you like bands, be sure to check out all the great music throughout our programming schedule and lineup throughout the week on WERA 96.7 FM or stream it live, WERA.FM.
And Washinton-Lee's made a change at quarterback.
All right.
So you can see those changes coming
yes.
5 minutes in the game.
We'll get a look at
Braden Shackelford.
Yep.
Braden Shackelford
comes in. He is the 5'11", 220-pound junior for the Generals.
And it's great to get that junior. He's a junior.
He is
might
a junior.
take over the helm next year after Mestre. So it's a great time. It's 5.5 minutes left in the ball game. You get him some snaps.
As we just finished talking about Braden Shackelford, he comes out, Mestre comes back in, and he's out of the gun once again, his normal position. Wakefield showing blitz. Yeah, that is interesting now. Mestre hands it off, and that's Jabari Johnson. Looks like Jabari Johnson now will be in for the remainder of the game, and Carpenter will take a break. And he hasn't been back in the game for the last 2 or 3 minutes, 2 or 3 game minutes. As I'm looking on the sideline, I do see Larry Carpenter just enjoying the rest of the night off.
Yeah, and both teams have established that this game has kind of been sealed into the books. So you like to see that sportsmanship too. Offensive linemen helping defensive linemen up. Hey, but you know what? When the play starts, I'm still going to be back at you.
Right.
But you know what?
That's right.
When the play's not happening, being a respectful, courteous player,
that's great.
It's really 100%.
That's great sportsmanship. That's what you always want to see. Mestre now again stands in the pocket. This one, he throws it, and that one is complete. And that is Jabari Johnson. He gets to about the 26-yard line.
Yeah, Johnson getting some decent late game touches here, and hopefully he's able to take his team. Well, it is 4th down now.
Yeah, they've only picked up 1 yard. It's a great job of the Wakefield defense sniffing out that screen pass right there. Kind of staying at home. You see the linebacker staying at home. The lineman making the penetration, and there it is.
All right, Palacios now with a field goal here. This one's going to be a 43-yard try from the left hash mark. Palacios, the right-footed kicker. And the holder is Shackelford. Snap good, hold good. Kick is no good. It looked like it may have been just short.
Would have been great distance.
Yeah.
Would have been something to really hang your hat on for special teams for W&L. A great attempt, though.
Didn't get a lot of height on that kick, but it was a good attempt.
Yeah, the kick, it is low, and it looks like it finishes its arc just off to the side and before
below the crossbar,
the
right?
crossbar.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you right now, I don't think he got all of it.
He may not have.
I don't think he got all of it.
So it'll be a turnover on downs.
It was pretty low. I don't know. You think it could have been tipped even?
I'm not sure.
No.
I just don't think he got all of it.
I didn't see a tip of any sort, but
you just don't think he got all of it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of like when you throw a pass and it has a certain trajectory and an arc. That ball that was kicked also had that. And look at this.
Here we go.
It looked originally like open field for 21.
That's Rodney
Lee.
Lee. The sophomore steps in now.
He had green fields in front of him.
He did.
But that closed pretty quickly. Great job by the W&L defenders to close in on that quickly. Great speed to get over towards the sideline.
Well, they did a great job of bouncing that run out. There was nothing. There was dive play in the middle. There was nothing in the middle. Bounce it out to the outside where there was some greenery. Just kind of ran out of gas a little bit.
He got to the 37-yard line. So he did pick up the first down. 1st and 10, ball on the 37, their own 37. As we continue, 3:13 to go here. And there is Rodney Lee again. This time he goes to the far side, gets right about to the 40, maybe a little bit past that. So he picked up about 3.5 yards.
So here with the final 3 minutes in this game, we'll really see what the offense is made of in a pride sense for Wakefield here. We'll see if they're able to march down the field and be able to take something away from this game. A pitch out there on the last play. Nothing doing really, but we'll see with a second down opportunity here if they can get down the field and hang their hat on one final positive note.
It'd be nice to score in the second half for Wakefield. That would be a good positive note. At least get
nothing doing there.
Chunk of yardage. Rodney Lee got stopped and stuffed. And
they tried to go with what worked on the first play originally, where there was a lot of field for the running back to work with. But then the next 2 plays, that room closed in very quick on him. And now with 2 minutes remaining in this one, it'll be a 3rd down and long. So the task is large for Wakefield if they want to get some momentum going into their next contest.
Absolutely.
And the 2 coaches at this point in the game, You're just worried about getting out of here with no injuries.
No injuries, right? Sebastian McCoy, by the way, on that big hit on Rodney Lee. And there is Lee again. He's going to the far side, turns the corner. And then he loses the ball, still in play. Wakefield falls on it. The ball goes back about 10, 11 yards.
Rodney Lee took it around the outside, was trying to fight. He knew about halfway through that he was not going to be able to get that first down, so it was kind of like an anger push of the shoulder pad there. But in doing so and fighting with that defender, the ball popped out about 10 yards back. And lucky for Poitras, though, back there, smart, an alert quarterback, he's able to fall on that football and keep any more points off the board for W&L.
Just the way the ball bounces, right? You might sit there, some quarterbacks may sit there and not even go after it thinking it's going to just roll out of bounds, but it didn't do that. The shape of the ball always has a way to kill you sometimes. It does. 4th down, 19, ball on their own 28-yard line on the Wakefield Warriors. 1:20 to go. We are at War Memorial Stadium. Here it is, the 4th quarter. Afshin Banab, Jesse Robinson, Chris Williams.
Mascot doing a little dance on the track, too. He's certainly happy because his Generals are going to walk away with a 48-21 victory, if not more.
Yeah, their first victory of the season for Washinton-Lee.
And that's important. That's got to feel nice.
That's got to feel nice,
Get
right.
your first win of the year. And unfortunately, going 0-3 for Wakefield, they'll have a tough road ahead of them for the rest of the season.
Yeah, they play Falls Church next week. And Washinton-Lee, you can see Coach Shapiro, Chris, just relies so heavily on his seniors, especially Parks and Mestry.
Yeah, Mestry, Parks,
Carpenter.
Miller. You know, those guys are key. They were key players tonight, and I think they're going to be key players for them for the rest of the way.
I think that they're going to be a contender for sure now that they are in conference play. There is Quinn Parks now. He picks it up, the punt from his own 45, crosses midfield, and now he is taken down.
Well, we'll see Wakefield next week as well in our coverage, WERA High School Football Game of the Week. It'll be Falls Church at Wakefield, two big rivals out of the Capital Conference. Again, that's September 23rd at 7 p.m. right here on 96.7 FM and streaming live at WERA.FM.
Battle of the Green.
That's right. 3 weeks in a row for Wakefield. They love us.
They love us, but then we won't see them on the schedule until October 28th. That's the last season the Warriors won by forfeit Jefferson.
So, yeah, Jefferson, they did not have enough players to suit up that time last season. Hopefully we will have a game, and they will have players this year to put on the football field.
Shocker for batting back in right now. I'll be very surprised if they run a play here. I think Washinton-Lee's probably going to line up in the victory formation, and let's put this one on ice.
There is 1:09 to go. And they are on the 48-yard line.
Personnel subbing in, a couple issues here.
Yeah, the referee sent the kids out because they had something wrong with the shoulder pads of the helmet or something.
So Ellis comes back in, and he plays receiver right now. He's on the far side as a receiver.
Man, what a handoff there to number 55, Taishim LeGrand.
Yeah.
There's the diesel right there.
Wow.
Taishim LeGrand, the 5'10", 250-pound junior.
My goodness.
250.
Jerome Bettis.
The bus. But
but you know what? We can't knock it if he's running over defenders and gaining yards.
He gets his name on WERA 96.7.
Absolutely.
Coming back again.
Again, there he is. Taishim LeGrand.
Keeps the legs pumping. He could have been stopped way back at the original line of scrimmage, and he pumped all the way back to the new line of scrimmage. Credit that guy right there.
He's playing the wrong sport. He should be playing rugby sevens.
You know, he could be. Maybe he is somewhere. I don't know. But I understand your point.
Who's going to stop him with no pads or helmet on? I mean, who's going to
be a holding penalty?
Right.
Who's going to get in front of him with no protection?
No, he's a big young fella.
Wow.
Here he is coming off now. He's going to take a break after those two. He's huffing and puffing. But there was a holding penalty there.
That's a lot of work running over guys half your size.
You know?
So we'll probably see one more play here, Afshin, and then everyone's kind of lined up in their victory handshake formation already for W&L.
Yorktown 2, or Wakefield 2 on the opposite side. They're ready. They're about to call it. 19 seconds to go here.
They're like, really, a holding call
Really?
at this point?
Let this go. Let this go, guys. Come on, refs. Come on.
Hey, but you got to give the the referees are doing their job. If they don't call it, somebody's going to complain.
Right.
You got to remember, these guys are getting looked at half the time as well. So if they make a mistake, they're going to get called on that mistake.
They're going to get called by the.
So you got to grant it. Got to give them credit for doing their job all the way to the end.
By the proper authorities. Yeah, they don't want to hear it from them.
Right. Proper authority, you mean the parents?
That's right. That's exactly what I was talking about.
There's the victory
there
formation.
It is. 15 seconds and counting, and that should do it. Your final score right here from War Memorial Stadium: Washinton-Lee 48, Wakefield 21. Your high school football game of the week on WERA 96.7 FM.